The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
What type of show is this, ladies and gentlemen? We're actually starting on time.
What the fuck is that?
You know, it's been a jam-packed week since the last time we talked to you. Lots has happened. So welcome to the show, folks. I'm your host, Sam Whitfield, here in South Florida. Max and Morpheus are joining me as always, and yeah, like I said, got a jam-packed show for you. Hope everyone's Easter went well, gentlemen. Did the Easter Bunny leave any eggs, or
Left me these little pellets of tiny brown chocolates.
Well, you know,
that was actually Grandma. She just started taking new medication.
Yeah.
She found the socks and had to go. No, that's funny though. Our son spent it with his grandmother and did egg hunts and all kinds. She had all kinds of stuff planned for him, and he's having a grand old time on his vacation. It's been good. We get like a charity race coming up soon at his school, and dad life. I had a great Easter. The day after, I took a morning walk that Monday morning. It was a beautiful weather. I took a side track that I don't usually take because there's a park there, but I know it's far longer than the way I go. It was beautiful. There was like a woodpecker and a cardinal and some blue jays, and I just sat on a bench and looked at the river because I'm very interesting.
Sometimes observing nature and in all seriousness, it's always good to do that.
Yeah,
the
park was much nicer than I had anticipated, right? So I took it in. I had a few extra minutes to sit and just enjoy the park. There was another guy there doing the same thing, playing with some drumsticks. I was like, man, I wish I brought some drumsticks. That looks like fun.
Yeah, that I always my Easter Sunday was nice. We had it with the family. Afterwards, though, I took a nice, stroll or roll in my case down by the bay and saw a gorgeous sunset. Yeah. You know what I mean. Other-based cripple man.
He can't even maintain the illusion of himself being crippled one time. It's
one job, Sam. One job.
If he was actually faking being crippled, like we've been saying, he would be the worst person at it ever, right? But the fact is, he's really fucking crippled, and he makes that mistake every time. Knowing that you're going to call him on it, because that's just how he normally talks. And now he's just, because I wouldn't call him on it. The only person who could call him on it.
You're not allowed to call him on it.
Yeah. And so he's used to just saying it, and then Shmuley started calling him on it just because that was funny. And then we made it a whole bit, and now you actually get him on it every fucking time, and he's like, yeah, I went for a stroll, so what? But if you were faking it, that would be the worst thing ever, right? Because you give it away every time. That's why, like, it's obvious that you're, crippled. Because you'd be a terrible liar. Funny. Yeah, you're the worst liar ever, Sam. You get this big shit-eating grin when you lie, then everybody's like, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See, then he can use that to mask the truth, too. That's the thing you got to worry about. That's what they do. Tell them the wheelchair guys don't manipulate people with their big old goofy grins. Go ahead, wheelchair guys. Tell me that ain't the truth.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Max.
Mm-hmm. Sam can't even contain his big old goofy grin from being like, yeah, that's it. That's the trick to life. Yeah.
I don't need to see Lord's face to know that he knows what I know, and I know what he knows.
And he knows what I know, what he knows that I know.
Yeah, but did you know that I know that you know that he knows that you know what I know that he knows?
Well, yes.
You don't know shit, Giant.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, because you're a giant, and you might not be crippled, but you get away with stuff that we, like, us better than a lot of other people.
Well, there is a level of sometimes I can say something to a motherfucker's face knowing he won't do shit. That's true.
Yeah.
But that's a little different, right? Because it's not in a positive way. They're just afraid of me, which is, that works on occasion, actually quite often.
Yeah,
that's like cripples can also get away with saying shit because what are you gonna do? Fucking hit a cripple?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've already answered this question. Is no, you throw them.
Yeah,
because Sam would have fun if I threw them anyway.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's going to be like if we ever have like a big like right to offend event, that's going to be like on the like main stage, right? The cripple toss.
Now,
but do you toss the young cripple or the old cripple?
No, we already excluded. Nobody wants to see you get hurt, Morpheus. Are you crazy? Sam wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we weren't offering up you for a sacrifice. Sam could envision it, and he's like, you know what? It will hurt like a motherfucker, but I will have fun.
It'll be worth it too, because then I'll have like all the babes doting over me.
But what if I was offering up myself as a sacrifice?
Well, we would have to shoot out of a cannon.
See, now he wants to. Now he wants to offer himself up. Now I mentioned the babes. I see how it goes.
Are there babes for the guy that gets thrown at the cripple toss? We're making them right now, ladies.
There should be.
Picture him in an Evel Knievel outfit, obviously, right?
An Evel Knievel outfit with like stars and stripes and whatnot.
Well, like an Evel Knievel outfit, yeah. Because he always had the stars and stripes, Sam. Because this is America.
By the way, I forgot to mention this last week, but I do love.
Shout out to Joe in the chat, by the way, been saying a bunch of stuff, so I figured I'd say it real quick. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to Joe. Also, shout out to Evan for retweeting the link to the show, like pretty much right off the bat. But yeah, that was one thing that I saw last week was all the media people. Last week we talked about Bill Maher meeting with Trump at the White House, and I guess Kid Rock was there, and so the media. They don't really have anything else to say, but what did they say? Oh, Kid Rock's outfit was too over the top with the American flag regalia.
Well, that's because you never met a motherfucker quite like me.
And I'm like,
Sam, it's still available publicly on like an archive. So I'm going to tell you, I once wrote an article in like 2015, I believe, or 2016, where I endorsed Kid Rock for Senate on the rumor that he would run. And I coined the term Kid Rock conservatism because it describes me quite well.
Yes.
So if they say he's too much, guess what? This is America. You're allowed to be too much, motherfucker. And they want to say, and they want to talk about Zelensky. Oh, he told off Zelensky, but Kid Rock can wear that. Yeah. Is Zelensky an American?
No.
Then he should show some respect in our White House, especially with how much money we give him. Kid Rock contributes. He's a taxpayer, a huge taxpayer, might I add. Pays a lot more taxes than you and I, Sam. Because he makes a lot more money.
Yeah, that's...
And he employs people, and he goes on tour, and he creates jobs. And also, he represents that downtrodden underclass, yes, even white trashy element of American society. And so if he comes to the house dressed up like Joe Dirte, that's fucking dope, bro. He's an American through and through.
Well, I've never understood this whole thing of I've never understood this whole thing with dressing up in the American flag or American flag regalia. Obviously you don't want to wear the actual flag as, a thing. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that, Sam.
But wearing American flag regalia, I've never understood why people think that's ridiculous. I love wearing the American flag.
Young people, I've realized this over the weekend. It's one of the revelations I had, Sam. Young people have decided that like traditional is corny, but what they mean by traditional is like from when I was a kid. And I'm like, you know what? It was cool then, and it's cool now too. He-Man's cool. Is it corny? Yes. Hulk Hogan's cool. Is it corny? Yes. We spent more time, Sam, me and the wife did a review on WrestleMania, but and anybody wants to watch that, it's up on our channel here on Rumble. But I want to point out we spent more time talking about the Ultimate Warrior and his cosmic universal energy versus the immovable force, the irresistible object, the immortal Hulk Hogan, brother, at WrestleMania 6. She voluntarily wanted to talk more about that and watched more of it than anything from WrestleMania 41. And y'all motherfuckers would be like, that's a corny. Because there's a 3-minute bear hug. You know what I mean? But corny ain't corny. It's just y'all are jaded. Grow up. Hope isn't corny. Hope is actually cool. The good guy can win sometimes, Sam.
Yep.
There can be a happy ending.
Well,
finally you got it. You got it.
Speaking
this
of
guy's a pro.
Speaking of slightly corny, I'll tell you what might look a little corny, but isn't. A guy wearing a Stetson and a poncho hunting down Mexican drug cartel leaders in Night of the Vigilante. Which
is maximally proven to increase your IQ, your genital size, your attractiveness to women, and your libido, Sam.
Yes. So wait. So
by my statistics, because I just told you so. I'm the source.
Well, not only that, Max, but Dr. Craig D. Mansfield has purchased.
Doctor? You mean it's endorsed by a doctor?
Yes. So we officially have a doctor's recommendation for Night of the Vigilante 2.
That's right.
By an actual doctor.
So one out of one doctors recommend Night of the Vigilante.
I mean, that's all we need, right?
Actually, though, but I played a doctor for a short period of time on an internet thread. So, and I'm an ordained minister, Sam. Just saying, this isn't. And also, like we joke, but like, how many up and coming and also well-known authors have you had on your show recently, Sam?
Oh, God.
Too many to keep track of. And yes, they also love his book, and that one's not a joke, guys. So continue, sir.
So, go ahead and purchase a copy of Night of the Vigilante. I personally, we really appreciate you clicking on the link in the description of the show for the books, because Instagram has been really censoring my book promotion posts lately. Twitter not so much. They've been pretty good, but just by clicking the links in the show notes, that seems to be where a lot of the sales come from. So really appreciate it.
Also,
And
like, comment, subscribe, create a Rumble account, maybe get Rumble Premium, all the things to help us out. But really, buy the book. It's fantastic, and you get something out of it.
Yeah, and I've got a few other books on the Am.
So now that it's been out for a while, Sam, is this your bestseller out the gate yet?
This one has been a little. I'll admit this one has been a little slow. Like I said, because this is the first one, and I kind of knew that this was going to happen. Where Instagram and admittedly,
it is a little heavier. I'll admit that it's a little heavier in content than your previous work, but I think it's your best work, and I think that that's gay of them to censor it in any way or suppress it in any way.
Yeah, I would agree. Even with X. I'm sorry, Elon, that my $8 a month isn't enough. I'm sorry you feel the need to tell me I have to upgrade to the $20 a month.
I'm gonna tell you have to buy promotion for $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
it never ends.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sorry. I love you, Elon, but that's just not gonna happen.
Well, we DIY around here. That's kind of the ethos, right? Is a little bit punk rock, like
yeah.
That's my ethos where I come from, right? Is like promoting on the streets and word of mouth and internet without the backing of the machine. We talk about the machine often, and in that regard, I want to point out that you've been on a roll with having these independent authors on your Monday show and giving absolutely great interviews, deep insights about writers' process, what drives them, what makes them tick. And I just want to continue to shout that out every week because it's really good. And if people, I see the views, and I think there should be more.
Oh yeah, not just that, but like I also want to point out too that a lot of authors since coming on have also felt more comfortable posting the fact they're pro Second Amendment, that they're pro that they're anti censorship.
It's okay to have an opinion, especially as an independent artist nowadays, because you own in on your fan base. But hey, it requires a lot of grinding. It requires stuff I don't like saying comment and subscribe, guys, but or putting out your promo tweets or being a little relentless about it almost.
Well,
but you can do it. You can overcome.
Well, I mean, we do that, but we also don't do the grifty thing of so and so absolutely destroyed so and so in a viral.
Get us to the goal, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about the headlines of the week. We do, but we often only talk about ones we feel are important, and the stuff people think is frivolous, we literally laugh at.
Speaking of somewhat frivolous headlines, so I saw this last week on Thursday. You mentioned you and your wife were watching WrestleMania. I got a few clips, but evidently in the days leading up to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, I don't even know if it was during an interview, but it came out basically.
It was with a magazine. He did an interview with a magazine, and they used one quote where he said he voted for Trump, but that he had been a registered Democrat before.
Right.
And, I'm pretty sure that's true. We also pointed out. So did you see any of WrestleMania now?
I've seen clips.
Okay, well, there's one thing you might not have seen from the clips that really upset Maxine when we talked about it on our review. Seth Rollins, who's a very well-known atheist on Twitter and says kind of horrible things about Christians, like as a shoot, like not part of his character, who's also known as the Monday Night Messiah, and he does the little Jesus-y pose, but she noticed that one, he mimicked the death and resurrection of Jesus in his entrance to begin with, and that two, he had a fake crown of thorns attached to his sunglasses, and then three, he crossed himself in the match before he did a moonsault, and the wrong way. He crossed himself backwards, and then three, by that point, she was screaming at me, legit. Shoot, not angry at the wrestling character, Sam. She felt that they were the WWE. She was ready to turn off the product forever because she felt that they were disrespecting her religion on the holy day.
Well, that's probably why. Correct me if I'm wrong, more, but that's one of the reasons why other Craig was so upset.
I will admit, I was willing to kind of explain away a lot of it due to character, and except for the crown of thorns and the crossing himself. I was like, you know what? She's represents a portion of the audience who is going to be pissed off by that, whether it pisses me off to that degree or not. I see art as expression, and they can do that. But the thing is, she can feel this way. That's kind of what we're about, right?
Yeah.
So she's offended. Does WWE have the right to do that? Yes. Do we have the right, what we would call 20 years ago, to change the channel? Sure. She decided not to, but she still couldn't watch him on Raw, and she didn't watch the segment. I think that's the only segment of Raw she didn't watch, was the one with Seth Rollins, which also included Punk and Roman, who she likes a lot. She just wasn't willing to even watch this guy.
That's fair. I don't, I think people can have differences of opinions and whatnot. I think celebrities are entitled. The thing that I've never understood, though, whether it be wrestling or musicians, is there were people who were just like on Twitter especially, were like, oh my god, I used to like Roman, but he voted for Trump. I can't like him anymore just because of that one thing. And I'm like,
well, I want to say, Sam, like, and I pointed this out to her when she was mad. Well, I get it. You don't like when people blaspheme your religion, but you're friendly with a man and know a man whose entire gimmick, satanic, is, yes, spoiler, Sam, he is a Satanist in a atheistic kind of sense, I think.
yeah.
And why is he my friend? Well, one, I respect art that's edgy for what it is. Two, as you well know, where does something like that come from? All of his dark music and imagery. Well, he feels like God did him dirty because his mother was murdered and never solved. So I can understand where that kind of pain comes from. That's why I like his music and stuff. And I think people do get overly attached. And when I pointed that out to her, she did calm down. Like, okay, you can make that kind of art. But she said, I'm not going to watch his stuff anymore. And she stood by that. The next time he came out, she was just like, you know what? I got to go do something upstairs. I don't even want to watch this on Raw. And so she didn't even see that there was an angle with that. And I had to explain it to her afterwards.
Sure.
So that kind of stuff can alienate a portion of the audience. Maybe she's a minority, right? But and look, if you're offended by something, that's literally how you handle it, in my opinion, is you just like, I don't want to watch that.
Agreed.
Yeah. I do think, though, to be fair, the way I understand it, it seemed more like the interview with Roman was just more like he made an offhand comment.
Right.
No, they were just talking, like, not even in character. They were talking about his career as a performer. And he pointed out that he thought people knew that, by the way. I didn't even know that interview until you pointed it out to us before the show. But I did know that he's a Christian. For many years, he's talked about that in interviews, how his faith in Christian belief got him through his leukemia, very famously. He even had a relapse when he was world champion. And the first thing he did is say, the first thing I want to remember, he came back and he broke character and he said, the first thing I want to say is thank you, God, from Joe.
Yep.
Yes. Roman's a Christian. Wow. What a fucking if you didn't see that coming, you're an idiot. Even as a bad guy, he still tries to represent like a Christian point of view in his character, if you didn't notice. And WWE is now owned and controlled by, yes, a lot of conservative leaning Trump affiliated people. And so if you're offended by that kind of stuff, and a lot of the Cody crybabies are, it's probably not going to be a product. Something's going to piss you off at some point. But I was actually shocked that they would piss off my wife, who's a Christian, and actually is usually she likes ICP and stuff. But what she doesn't like is when you take shots at Christianity like that, even as a character on a show.
Yeah, which I can understand.
And especially on Easter on a show that she wanted to watch. She understands that my musical taste and my friend Satanic, who's also a friend of the show, right? She understands that he's not putting on WrestleMania in front of 80,000 people and millions on TV, right? He's selling albums that you have to go buy, and maybe does a concert that you have to buy a ticket to go see, right? So everything has its place. What she's saying is, on your biggest event, on the holiest day of the year, you did some stuff that I personally, for my faith, found offensive. And I do think WWE should take note of that, but maybe they won't. I told her that. Maybe they won't care.
And here's my thing. Would they do it to any other religion?
That's the thing. I don't think they would, yeah.
That's the thing. That's the part that pisses me off, is they wouldn't do it to literally any other fucking religion.
Well,
that was part of what she said, yeah.
Well, they go out of their way. They seem to go out of their way when they're in Saudi Arabia to make things a little more conservative. Which, look, I understand that
they follow the laws of Saudi Arabia regarding what we would call indecency. So yes.
Well, yeah, and like I said, look, I understand. I'm not bashing them for that, but like.
I made another argument, though, Sam, that I think is important, is that they do put a lot of pro-Christian imagery in the product itself now, which they didn't do under Vince. Jey Uso on the Raw before Mania was praying in the ring, praying to God. Like I said, Roman does. And it, so since Vince left, there's been way more pro-Christian imagery, way more pro-conservatism. They've been friendlier with sponsors that aren't cancel culture shit. I think if you're a WWE fan and you lean even slightly to the right or to the center, you're in for a good time, because they didn't actually ever really go full woke like a lot of other companies. No. Say what you want, that's probably due to Vince McMahon's influence, if you think about it.
Right.
He was there when peak woke happened, and he was like, fuck that shit. I won't say what he was into, but he still he wasn't into woke. Yeah, he was into shitting on women.
Yeah.
But the product didn't. Vince was always a Republican. That's a known fact, and he's friends with Trump. So he kept the woke influence at bay because he was the show up until recently. And then they merged with UFC. Dana White is a friend of Trump's. Nick Khan is a friend of Trump's, who owns the whole company. What's his face? The guy that owns TKO too. The whole TKO board are affiliated with the Trump administration. Linda McMahon is affiliated with the Trump. Yes, the product is much more leaning towards a center or center-right audience now. And that's why I caution them, poke too much fun at religion. And maybe my wife is on the extreme end in her reaction. That you might say that, right? But if you go too much further, who knows how many people you can poke the bear of. I think it's dangerous to play with that kind of religious imagery like that outside of the Attitude Era, because there's like almost a religious awakening in this country, which we could talk about as a good segue to that the Pope has passed.
Yes, which I don't know if the word cool is.
Oh, wait, what do you guys think about Roman being a Trump guy? Does that change anything for you at all?
No, I mean,
it doesn't change anything for me, but knowing his beliefs and that he's a quote unquote traditional belief guy doesn't surprise me at all.
He described it more close to what you would have said. He was a Democrat, yes, on paper before, but he didn't vote, and then he voted for Trump. I believe that's what he said specifically, which I felt like, that might resonate with you. Which is why I wanted to circle back for 1 second, because I wanted to see what he thought, because yes, that's his transition basically from like an independent, almost default liberal until some stuff started slapping in my face. It was like, wait, this goes against my traditional values. And that's the problem that the left has almost in its entirety now, Sam, right? Is if you're a traditional Christian and you're on the center left,
It's gonna shit on you.
you have your own party slapping you in the face all the time, and that's got to sting. And I don't think that's a good strategy going forward. And we've seen a lot of that, to circle back again to in the death of the Pope. I've seen a lot of mean-spirited. Now, look, I have my thoughts about the Pope. I've been vocal about him on this channel and on my channel. If you look at some of my even older videos before I was working with Sam, they're up on Rumble, where I've said my piece about the Pope. But he's gone. And, that may God have mercy on his soul, I guess. But first thing I said to Kurt Doolittle when I read his thoughts on it was that it'll be interesting at the conclave picking a new Pope. That has to happen now. And it's sort of like, which way, Catholic man? You know what I mean, Sam?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'll tell you, for a person like me, and I only speak for me, they could do a lot by picking a Pope to win me over to more being a church-going Catholic, rather than I've stepped away from the church. And that wasn't, it caused me some distress in my life, because I thought it was a crisis of faith, but it had always been a crisis of trust. And it had been since Pope John Paul II has died, I had felt like the church has been betrayal after betrayal, because of some of the things associated with the Francis, who is now, dead. So I won't say anything much more about that. But Ratzinger, who's still alive, and I won't call Benedict, covered up a lot of the abuse at the church. And I don't think it was a correct decision to make him the Pope because of that. And so who they pick next could restore people like me's trust in the church to some degree. And some of the things that people like me would like to see out of a Pope like that is a restoration of the optional, it was always optional, Latin traditional liturgy. This has been important that they've cracked down on that. Another thing is the optional language liturgies that they've been cutting. Here, Sam, they cut Portuguese Mass for people that have been doing Portuguese Mass, even though they don't even speak Portuguese in some cases, for like 60 years since their family emigrated here. And now they can't do Portuguese Mass. Why? And the Vatican sent down a thing citing money. You can't do those other language masses. But here, they still do a Spanish Mass. Nobody even goes to it because these people don't speak Spanish. They speak Portuguese, or their family are Portuguese. These are two different languages, and that's kind of important to them. And it just got taken away because it's too expensive. Well, it's too expensive because, sorry to go off on a tangent, Sam, but it's too expensive because you have less people in the pews. And you have less people in the pews because people do not trust the Catholic Church like they used to. And that's where I circle back to.
You pushed us all away.
You drove us away. So if you want a Pope that can bring us back, you better pick a shepherd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I don't usually like to be so hyperbolic, but to, my grandfather, my late grandfather was Catholic, and his widow, June, who is still alive and who joined us on Easter, she had said, so this is me, this is her. She felt that the last Pope was pretty much a full-blown commie. Those were her exact words.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons, both like within the tradition of the church, and I've talked extensively about, because I don't want to pile on Francis after he's dead. Okay, I do have a lot of criticisms of him, but I'm trying to be as respectful a Catholic as one could be. But yes, he has a lot to do with why I wouldn't have gone back to the church, because of some of the things that he said regarding some things that are important. Taking a soft stance on pro-life issues as the Pope basically turned American Catholics against him almost overnight, as well as promoting the use of condoms, as well as promoting the idea that you don't need to ask for forgiveness to have gay sex. Look, you got to ask for forgiveness if you pooped, Sam. I didn't know if you knew this.
You've got to ask for forgiveness for damn near everything.
Everything
is okay.
You don't go in there and list off every sin you do in a Catholic confession booth, Sam, because every sin you do in a week would be too much.
Yeah.
We are fallen, wicked creatures. The idea is you talk about the big notable ones of the week. It would be something like I lied at work, or, I fucking stole some office supplies, or whatever it might be. Something you felt actually bad about. And the priest tells you, well, if you want to get right with God, you'll say all these prayers and think about what you did. A lot of Protestant-based people kind of misconstrue what confession is and act like the priest is getting you right with God. He's telling what you should do to think about getting right with God. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, totally.
Right. But if you go through every sin you commit, the list is endless. Taking a shit, according to parts of Leviticus, could be construed as a sin. Flicking your nose, like all this stupid shit. Because yes, we are born in sin according to the original sin, Adam and Eve, and all this stuff. And so you have a guy preaching up there that these sins are completely fine. You don't need forgiveness for, but all the other stuff is just because they're gay. Well, that doesn't sit right with a lot of American Catholics specifically. They're not homophobic. They're saying, like, wait a minute, their sin is different than ours. Somehow it's immediately forgiven to have gay sex. Do you know what happens if you have sex out of wedlock and don't receive forgiveness, Sam?
Going to hell, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much that.
But what's cool about Catholicism is you can get forgiveness for pretty much everything. I think that's why I bring the perspective that a lot of people aren't used to of like always being open to second chances, because that's kind of a Catholic mentality. It's like fallen by nature, saved by grace. You're only saved by the grace of God, Sam. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
believe me, my whole life has been a whole big second chance.
I'm sure that I could get together when the conclave starts and the short list of names kind of pops up. We could talk about them individually because I know quite a bit about them. At least the bishops of today, you know what I mean? But the short list right now wouldn't exist because there's like 700 bishops they could choose from to nominate, you see?
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's every bishop on earth could be nominated to be pope, and then they vote on it until one of them wins.
Yeah.
It's supposed to happen very quickly, though. It's only supposed to take a couple of days. And we'll only know the result. We don't know what the voting process is like. I'm just hoping they make a good pick, putting my faith in the church to do the right thing. Put your faith in maybe God to make them do the right thing and pick somebody that can fit the job. And in the vein of a John Paul II, maybe be more of a peacemaker. But with an iron hand, because he stood up against the communists.
Yeah.
Rather than a Benedict or a Francis, who, maybe a lot of us see. I've pointed this out before. American Catholics are on the verge of like revolting against the church in some ways.
I will say this, even as like a non-Catholic, I've always prayed for the Catholic Church to represent God properly and to make good decisions and to be heralds of God's message, because I do think that they can be and have been a force for good.
I'm not sure more. Were you also like involved with the Catholic Church at some point? I think you said you were.
I've gone through everything up through confirmation.
Okay, so you're same as me then, yeah. So what do you think about it? Why would you say you're a Catholic today?
Today, honestly, I am a non-practicing Catholic, mainly out of family tradition. But a lot of the recent stuff, the reason why I've remained a non-practicing is because of our most recent Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like he says things that are very radical for the church. Even because if the government's saying stuff like that, a Catholic can see different. Like that's the thing is Catholics for a lot of points didn't oppose gay marriage on the sense of it's a government thing. And like Catholic marriage is technically a separate contract anyway between you and the other person and God and the church, So it's two different things. Getting married Catholic and getting married under the government are two different things.
Right.
You might get both at the same time, but they are two different things. And so that's kind of how the Catholic Church sees a lot of it. It's the same reason they used, however, and I disagree with this, under Benedict, aka Ratzinger, his real name, to have priests who raped boys confess, but it was within the church, so they couldn't be prosecuted, which is the scummiest thing you'll ever hear.
Trash.
And do I think that the molestation in the Catholic Church is overblown in the mind of many normal people? Absolutely, yes. It's far less cases of it happen than compared to what people might tell you.
Right.
But it's still,
because it wasn't dealt with properly, it's blown.
But yeah, and it's completely unacceptable how much of it did happen and how much of it they swept under the rug. And so people rightfully have no trust in that institution. And that's my point, is there is a lot of things they have to, as a church, if they take the message of the Catholic catechism seriously on their own part and really think within themselves, it tells you what you should do, which is to soul search and find yourself and get right with God. And if I believe that the church can do that to my satisfaction, many others will have it there to their satisfaction as well. And you could even see a renaissance of Catholics because
Right. If they want people like you and myself, Max, to be right with God, how about, excuse my language, the fucking church get right with God first?
yeah, because I don't
Yeah,
it has quite been there in a while. Amen, sir.
Yeah, I would even say for people like me that that's kind of been one of that because like I wasn't raised Catholic, but you know I have members who are Catholic, and not, like that's been the one thing that has kind of, I guess, prevented me from maybe becoming
It's
Catholic.
tough to consider a conversion under these circumstances, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm not the one who feels that way. It's kind of like it's kind of like, I know this might seem cliche, but it's kind of like rules for thee, but not for me. That's kind of
Facts.
how a lot of people feel about, Catholicism. So
And here's the other side of the coin, though. If they choose wrong and they go the wrong direction, people like us aren't actually going to care all that much.
yeah,
We're just going to move on because we weren't sitting here waiting for the church anyway.
Right.
yeah,
So if
no,
the church wants its renaissance, it has to earn it.
And that's why I say I'm a non-practicing Catholic, but I have my own beliefs within that framework.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
So wow,
Um,
you fucking wrestling nerds didn't watch WrestleMania?
I had I had personal stuff to do, which I can't really.
I haven't I haven't been a weekly watcher in 5 years.
Well, it's WrestleMania though.
Meh.
I don't know. We reviewed it. See, that's the thing. They're like, we're wrestling fans. Talk shit about me. Let me tell you something. Yeet, Jey Uso won. Told y'all so. How did you ever doubt that? What the fuck is wrong with you for even thinking there was a possibility? Hold on, Sam. Hold on. 2, my best friend, homie, literal best bro from back in the day, Dominic Mysterio is now the Intercontinental Champion, just like I told you he would. And I'm getting my Judgment Day membership soon. You'll see. And he kicked out Finn. Just like I said, Sam.
Max was right. Sorry, Mort, but I have to say it. Max was right.
God damn it.
Also, John Cena winning was hilarious. The Cody Crybabies are so mad. And they're all crying about, oh, The Rock wasn't there. The Rock wasn't there. If you judge a card by what you thought was going to happen based on speculation from the internet and you're crying about it, one, you're the type of person that's going to continue watching it anyway so they don't care. We're the type of people that might turn it off, right? The older people. But the type of people like that, they're going to continue watching anyway, so they don't care. That's called good heat. That's called heel heat. Two, obviously John Cena was going to win and get his 17th championship, but it's hilarious how he's dunking on those very fans the whole way while doing it. Bravo, John Cena. And 3 or 4 or whatever, however many I have, Sam, yeet, I got a list and a half written by my beautiful wife discussing the I can't read it with these glasses on, Sam. Why did I put the glass? Oh, because I was yeeting. Because I was yeeting on the
Because
list.
you were being Max.
Sam, I yeeted all over this list.
That sounds gross.
Oh, Max, you yeeted.
Look, ever since J1, I've been yeeting all over the place. You know, Gunther tapped out, right?
Max, we talked about this, man. You can't just yeet all over the place. God.
Well, first I
You can't
yeeted
just
when
eat all over the show.
Not even joking, Sam, though, when Dominic won, I jumped out of my seat and screamed for real like a 6-year-old. Not even joking. I actually marked out for that for real because that's my homie, an actual real best friend. Dominic.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio. The current reigning defending Intercontinental Champion, by the way, Sam. Because the Judgment Day is awesome. Also, the ladies are the tag team champions again, too.
That's right.
So, should I put the other mic on? Let me turn it on, and then I'm going to switch to the mic so she has some commentary for her list. Because the list, Sam, I'll read the name of the list first before the good quality. Top 10 women's wrestling outfits from WrestleMania 41. Isn't this up you guys' alley, Sam?
Sure.
With a bonus top 5 NXT women stand and deliver outfits as well.
So
that's 15 ladies, Sam. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Can you contain yourself and be a gentleman? No drooling. I don't want to see any of them wolf animations. All right. No woo 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 woo. None of that.
What?
You're a gentleman, Mr. Whitfield.
When am I not? When am I not a gentleman?
Okay, I'm gonna switch the mic up and can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Can you hear her?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Number 10, Naomi. Guys, big Naomi fans?
Sure.
I feel like that's fair because hers was just kind of like awful.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Sam. There was 11 women on WrestleMania 41, so it's a top 10 list.
Right, yeah.
So Naomi was there. Number 9, same kind of deal, basically. Becky Lynch, because she just wore, like, black.
Yeah, it's like nothing against her. It's just, it was literally just black.
Yeah.
Number 8, this is going to be controversial, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Liv's outfit wasn't amazing.
Well, we said Liv might rank higher, but there's 11 women and we wanted them all on the list, so they go in as a team, and Raquel kind of brought her down because Raquel's was meh.
Yeah. Like at least with Liv's, like the whole corset type vibe really fit her well. And I also give her points because I know part of that is because of that scar that is around her waist from when Bianca got her with her braid. I guess she's a little self-conscious about it and wants to keep it covered. So I give her points for that too.
Number 7, Io Sky, the women's world champion or whatever title it's called.
That's because it was cute, but it was just like green with sparkles and that's kind of it.
It was her normal, but green.
Yeah. So it was just kind of like, well, it's really cute, but it's not like, wow.
You're super happy she won, though, even though you're a Rhea fan.
Very, very happy that she won. She definitely proved that she deserves that title.
Yeah, I saw clips and that was pretty cool.
Number 6, Tiffany Stratton. It's Toofy time.
I love
that. Woof. Oh,
that's gonna hurt.
Man, the teeth was
But we're not
brutal.
talking about her teeth. We're
The
talking about
outfit-
Barbie.
Yes, oh my god. I seriously did geek out a little bit because her fucking entrance was the Barbie dream house.
Officially branded with Barbie licensing.
She came out in a fucking Barbie doll box, bro.
Yeah.
And her outfit was very much Barbie, and it was very pink and very sparkly. And I even kind of like the chest plate that was on the front. It was a little like warrior Barbie. Like I thought it was cute, and it was good, and it was really impressive. And I really liked the boots or sneakers. Like those were really cool too.
I actually thought it was pretty cool, like from a business perspective too, that like Barbie allowed her to use that.
Well, you know they'll make a doll, right? You see that
Mhm.
immediately.
Oh yeah, but you know some of those brands are pretty stingy about like licensing that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Hasbro hasn't worked with them in years, but they just redid a deal with WWE, so that probably has something to do with it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
The Tiffany Charlotte match was trash, though. Come at me, internet. Number 5, Bianca Belair. She
Okay, so let me explain. Bianca's outfit, beautiful. No, it was beautiful. Even the rose like cape.
She did look good.
The entrance was adorable. I love that her stepdaughter was involved. The outfit underneath the robe, beautiful with the gold and the roses, very much Bianca Belair, and that would have gotten her higher on the list, except it was the hair. The roses that were in the hair, I'll say it again, I hate the fact that I'm quoting Abby Lee Miller, but when you have a prop like that in your hair and it falls onto the ground, that's all people are going to look at. And all I could look at
especially
were
a
the
white
roses.
wrestling canvas.
Yeah, all I could look at were the roses at some point, and I'm like, they need to get them off the mat. And then it was also whatever the lettering barrette type thing that she
EST.
had that in her braid. It was weighing her braid down and kept making it go in her face and hitting her in the head and stuff. And so those are things that I'm like, I think those are things that you should know. Like, since you are designing them yourself, you should know that those are things that are not really conducive to a good wrestling outfit. And maybe one rose by the braid would have been enough, but everything else was a little much, and it started making technical difficulties happen. And so that's why she's on the list where she is.
Well, number 4, who I might have even put one higher myself, Jade Cargill.
Dude, it was cool. She was like fucking She-Ra.
Yeah, she looks like $1 million
Yeah.
every time.
But it did break.
It did break, but it kind of looked awesome that it broke.
Yeah.
Number 3, one of your personal favorites lately, Lyra Valkyria, the women's intercontinental champion.
Again, she probably would have been higher, except for the feathers in her hair. But I was a little more forgiving with her for that because feathers are kind of like naturally a part of her attire and her look. But it was still like, oh, they're falling out, but they're not as noticeable because they're as close to white as they could be, so you didn't really see them. But it was still like, probably shouldn't have gone with that. But other than that, like her coming out with the wings on her arms and shit, fucking beautiful.
And number 2, Rhea Ripley. You guys, I bet these guys are shocked that you put her at number 2, huh?
Dude.
So talk about Rhea.
Her Go
I
ahead,
am
Tim.
a little shocked. I am a little shocked. I will say that you put her at number 2 and not.
It
number
makes you want to
1.
know who number 1 is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Rhea, I mean, she had her very typical, black leather pieces. Dude, so fucking goth girl, awesome, amazing. Makeup was totally awesome. But that fucking like helmet shit thing with like the skull fingers, whatever the fuck it was, dude, that was so fucking sick.
Yep.
Like
So-
that was fucking awesome.
And I agree with that, but like I'm curious, what is the detracting factor for you, Maxie?
We have to tell the number 1 because it's not a detracting. It's that the number 1 was so on brand then it can't
Oh.
help but be number one, Sam.
Mhm.
But we got to read
Okay.
it back and
Yeah, of
heighten your
course.
anticipation just a little bit. The top 10 women's wrestling outfits from WrestleMania 41. Number 10, Naomi. Number 9, Becky Lynch. Number 8, as a team, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Number 7, Io Sky. Number 6, Tiffany Stratton. Number 5, Bianca Belair. Number 4, Jade Cargill. Number 3, Lyra Valkyria. Number 2, Rhea Ripley. And for the best outfit, WrestleMania 41 for the women. Woo! Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
All hail the queen, boys.
She
Of
came
course.
walking out, and I said, that is the most Flair outfit I've ever seen.
She outdid Ric Flair in Flairness.
Yeah. That robe was fucking sick.
They're
And
like,
then like she takes it off, and she's got the same like pinkish like theme, but she actually looks like a fucking warrior queen with hers.
you know what's funny is they're so unenthused by that list because all the girls that they think are hot and actually watch aren't on it. So,
Ooh.
gentlemen, the bonus
on.
list of the NXT Stand and Deliver top women's outfits 2025. Number 5, Lash Legend, because she's a fucking giant and she looked great.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't put all of them because there was way more women on that show, and if your favorite didn't make it, I don't care.
I don't really know a lot of them, so that's why.
She's judging what we saw, and you guys will like the other 4 almost guaranteed. Number 4, Tatum Paxley. Talk about Tatum Paxley.
Well, I love her because she's the most adorable little goth queen chick bitch ever.
I agree.
And it's very much like stereotypical goth, but not at the same time. And it's just like her energy and stuff. I don't know. She's adorable, and I just love her.
Number 3, the prodigy, Roxanne Perez.
She just always comes out with style. I can't help
And
but like her.
confidence.
Yeah, I just can't help but like, even though she does stupid shit, I can't help but still root for Roxanne.
Number 2, Gigi Dolan.
Yeah. She
Now, you were conflicted about some of these, so
Yeah.
talk about this one.
so at first I was conflicted about the first and second.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just kind of went, yeah, you're dumb. And so then it became, okay, who do I put as number 2, though? I could put Gigi or I could put Roxanne. Now, Roxanne's like the goth chick, too. She got a little bit of like what I vibe as like punk. But then there's Gigi. And so I was like, I'm going to Google and I'm going to look up some of their outfits. And I just see the shot of when they were sitting ringside for Roxanne's match. And I see Gigi's hair and the look on her face. And I remember, oh, yeah. And they like waved to her. And I went, yeah, who the fuck am I kidding? Gigi's number 2, obviously.
And
Because she's
so-
like she's the really cool goth chick.
But there can only be one number 1, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's read them back. 5, Lash Legend. 4, Tatum Paxley. 3, Roxanne Perez. 2, Gigi Dolan. And the number 1 women's wrestling outfit from NXT 2025 is, you know who it is, La Primera, Stephanie Vecchier, the NXT Women's Champion, the Dark Angel. Duh.
Of
I mean,
course.
she comes out with the sickest, badass looking horns. I love the shit on the side of her face. And oh my God, when she talks,
Mhm.
she is so fucking cool. When she came out on Monday Night Raw and went up to Io Sky, the fucking outfit on her, it was so fucking, dude.
And that match was a fucking banger, too.
It was so gothic and beautiful. If it had been purple, I would have been like, oh yeah, absolutely. But the blue looks so good on her, and the blue sparkly horns, and like the makeup was perfect, even with like the gothic lipstick. And I think it was the deep red. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rhea wore at one of her matches, and I was like, oh yeah, she needs to like do the red up more because that looks really good on her too. But I was just like, look at her standing next to Io Sky, and I'm like, it's like the Queen of Hell against an angel.
Yeah, she's a
and
star.
I'm here for it. And I love that she was like basically saying like she was the best and she wanted to fight the best of the best. And Io Sky just called herself the best because she beat the best. And then that match started. And I was like, dude, this is good. They're both really good. It was so intense. And then Roxanne got involved. And I was like, oh, god damn, Roxanne. I don't know who to
And
root
for the people
now.
that are wrestling fans, we reviewed the whole thing. Sam, we gave star ratings out.
Yeah.
And we made fun of Dave Meltzer for most of his will be shitty. But we liked it, and I'll spoil it. We gave it 4 stars, Sam. So maybe you should consider watching some of it. But
Yeah,
it was a good event. Unless you're the type to get salty about an ending you don't like.
no, I mean, I'm already disappointed by the vast majority.
Like I
of
didn't like
it.
the main event ending for night 1 at all. Neither
No.
did she, obviously. But we enjoyed. I'll tell you what we enjoyed a lot was the women's triple threat match on Sunday.
Yeah.
We enjoyed LA Knight and Jacob Fatu a lot.
Yes.
We enjoyed Jey Uso and Gunther a lot. And if
Fucking
you don't,
hell
then you don't know
yeah.
shit about wrestling, and I don't want to hear your
He
opinion.
made Gunther tap like a bitch.
It was a classic babyface David Goliath. Fucking, if you didn't understand what was going on, maybe you should stick to like playing checkers or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and it would make a lot more sense, when Sammy came out on Monday Night Raw talking to him, if you watch it.
Yeah. No, there was a lot that good happened. They paid a lot of good attention to detail, which is nice to see. And John Cena winning in the end is hilarious.
Yeah.
The match, is it good? No, that's part of the point. He's
Oh
trying
my
to
god. We have to talk about it. We have to talk about the mask, the helmet. We have to talk about it.
Oh, Cody's cringe helmet. Oh my god. Dude, we instantly were like, this is what John Cena said. You try to be a mishmash of superhero-like figures and baby faces in a blender and spits out like generic garbage.
So
and the
what
mask
did
that
Cody
Cody
do?
wore was that.
It was full-on helmet. Made me think of Ghost Rider because it was a skull. And then it had these like wing things off to the side looking like the old school Thor helmet. But it didn't end there, Sam. More.
It
was mechanical and it opened up like Iron Man's mask.
And you know what's funny
it was
about that?
so cringe.
And then he still has, it opens up, right? But he still has to take the fucking thing off.
But he walks down the ramp a bit with it still on his head.
It's like,
That's
why does it
ridiculous.
open like that if you're going to take it off anyway? Iron Man, the reason his opens like that is to give him a breather once in a while. What are you doing, Cody?
And for some reason, he had dirt bikes.
Dirt bikes, which is the most childish teen thing. Look, I know kids like Cody, and usually I'm all for like the cheesy baby face Sam, but Cody is cringe. And if you don't see that, you grow up.
Yeah, well,
My only issue with Gunther losing is he should have passed out instead of tapping.
Nah, because it actually gives him something to come. I'm a huge Gunther mark, man. And it actually gives him the first career hurdle he's ever had since he came to WWE. I think it's perfect. It really doesn't hurt him much because he's still a monster, but it gives Jay the world. Like, if you're a Gunther fan, and you got to think that he just gave Jay a huge sacrifice to put him over. Why is that? Like,
It
definitely
gives Jay the world, absolutely.
They don't like Jey Uso. They don't get it. But you know what? Look at the fucking crowds. Look at the people who are tuning in massive numbers since they literally, in some cases, larger numbers than in the Attitude Era already this year. So, like, if you're telling me Jey Uso is doing something wrong and he's the top guy during that, and the crowd wants him to replay his song just to yeet some more, you're missing something, bro. And it's called the magic of just having fun. Yeet.
that's right.
That's right. Also, Joe Fish says Dominic Mysterio, dirty Dominic Mysterio winning was greatness. That's also right.
I'm not even mad about it.
She was happy after. Actually, she was like,
He
you know
didn't
what?
cheat.
He didn't cheat. He pinned Finn. And
That was him turning on Finn. First off, was like, there you go, a little bit of a spine.
Hold up. Joe said Drew McIntyre entrance was badass.
Yes,
yeah,
it
that
was.
match was good too. That street fight, that was raw. I like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I
posted that selfie he took with that dude's phone.
I made fun of the over the top violence in AEW that I'm not even going to talk about. This was the level of violence I'm comfortable with in wrestling, Sam, was Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. And I'd say that was, for me, that's a 5-star street fight match. That's the thing, is I gave a bunch of 5-star matches to WWE. Oh my God, wrestling fans are going to be, it's 5 stars of how much we enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what a rating system is. If you think you got to measure me up against Dave Meltzer, go ahead. I'd whoop his crony ass.
Well,
and I definitely, he doesn't want to see me at Fartomania, Sam.
Oh, for heaven's
Meltzer!
sake.
No, I'm not going to.
well, I mean, come on,
Besides,
Max.
if I want to see somebody at Fartomania, it's obviously going to be Sean Ross Sapp, because I've had beef with. He blocked me, Sam. Sean Ross Sapp is a pussy.
Oh, what a
He is a bitch.
What a bitch move. Well, come on, Max. You're already facing off against Pray for the Batman at Florida Mania.
Nah. A new threat has arisen, Sam.
What?
It's the stench of bullshit authors like Johnny Fox.
Did
you see the thing Shmuley recommended about an author that uses all those same fake tricks? Like, you have the authors on doing the hard work, and you should show them all this kind of stuff of like what somebody does to try and fake it. And if you suck, you still can't sell copies. Isn't that hilarious?
Well, speaking of 5-star ratings,
yeah, I gave one to Shadows of Deception, but you have a different book there, Sam. What book is that, sir?
I've got Night of the Vigilante, which is
Night of the Vigilante by Sam Whitfield, available now on Amazon.
Which is a prequel / sequel to Shadows of Deception.
Wait, Sam, I've heard of this one. Is this the book that can raise your IQ points, make your dick bigger, make women like you, raise your libido, and make you cool?
Yes, and it will also give you the power to fight drug cartels too.
And the book itself might also suck your dick.
This is incredible, Sam. Where can they find this amazing bargain?
They can find it on Amazon, Kindle if they want the ebook, and available on Audible too. And I'm told by listeners, especially by Morpheus, that it could even give you an eargasm.
That's a bit personal, Sam.
Correct.
I don't know if you want to put that in the advertisement. But go ahead.
Look, I'm just telling you.
Orgasms are nice.
I'm just telling you what Mort told me. So.
Yeah. Well, now we all know.
And I told Mort. I said, sir, maybe you ought to keep that to yourself, sir. But I'll put that in the ad if you want me to.
Well, it's in the ad, Sam, now. And in fact, it's a major part of the ad because we're still talking about the eargasm that Morpheus experienced listening to the audiobook version of Night of the Vigilante, which also, as I understand it, has increased his IQ, dick size, libido, attractiveness to women, and level of coolness.
All is true. So.
See, I know how to sell a book.
Oh,
the book's good too. I forgot that part, Sam. The book's good too.
The book is fantastic, and I appreciate everyone who supports the book. But you know who should really read Night of the Vigilante, who might benefit from reading it, is our old friend Boss Hogg.
David Hogg could use an infinite IQ glitch to get himself out of. What's old Boss Hogg up to this time, Roscoe?
Well, Boss Hogg.
Them boys at it again down at the Doge facilities.
Well, he's apparently so. Last time we
I've
checked
been
in on
embezzling money from the Democratic Party, Roscoe, and I don't know what to do anymore. Is that it, Sam?
yeah, well, so last time he got caught, embezzling money from the DNC, but rather than taking responsibility for embezzling, what is he doing? He's now blaming democracy for the
It wasn't my fault that I stole all that money from the Democratic Party. You see, it was the Doge boys. They're stealing, and I just needed it was democracy's fault. Don't you understand? This is the
he's blaming democracy from school shootings now. I kid you not.
That's exactly what Boss Hogg would actually do on the Dukes of Hazzard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the kind of stupid jump in logic. Yeah, it wasn't my fault. You see, it was the school shootings caused by democracy. Yeah, that's it. It was democracy's fault. Roscoe, get my car.
Yeah, so this clip comes from Colin Noir. I just want to play a little bit of this. So yeah.
All the time and say democracy is the most important thing. We have to defend democracy. We fail to acknowledge that this generation, democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings. It's what's put us through the climate crisis and so much more. What we have to do is prove that democracy matters by standing up to the special interests that are killing the American dream and making our young people lose faith, not only in our party, but the future of this country.
We already did that. We voted for Trump, kiddo. Like, yeah.
Why am I just realizing his forehead's really fucking big?
Democracy didn't go our way, Sam, so we got to get rid of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Also,
over here, is that okay with you, Sam?
Also, yeah, you're right. His forehead is huge.
That is why we're doing.
Did this fool just blame democracy for school shootings?
Democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings.
Say, Broham, you became vice chair of the DNC because of that same democracy.
Hold up,
the
Sam.
The same system you're condemning is the one that
this generation.
Yeah. I want to point out one thing that even he didn't point out, okay?
Uh-huh.
School shooting is the least democratic thing you could possibly do as a human being.
That's true.
Okay, I feel like sometimes the thing that doesn't need to be said nowadays needs to be said, but a school shooting is not democracy. It is quite the opposite of democracy to the fullest degree possible. And I feel like that's being missed in this conversation where he's equating school shootings to democracy. I understand he's trying to use it as shorthand for gun control stuff, but when you say it like that school shootings are part of democracy, what you're saying is terrorism is a part of democracy.
Yep.
Pretty much.
All right, go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry. I just felt that point was important.
No.
Yeah, it makes him sound fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Well, because he is. Well,
they don't understand the democracy is when they shoot people.
Well, I mean, David Hogg kind of is fucking retarded, if you didn't know.
Well, he should come to our fucking meetings, but he doesn't show up.
The
retard finder, Sam, has been on Twitter finding all these retards, and none of them come to my meeting. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress.
But has the retard finder found Max and?
No.
I'm a stealth retard, Morpheus. I'm like a Khajiit.
You only proclaim it on the show every week.
I know, and nobody notices. That's the best kind of stealth there is, right in front of everybody.
He's hiding in plain sight.
That's right. But if you notice, the stupidest things I said, I got hit in the head on camera first. So I have plausible denials of what to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
DNC because of that same democracy. The same system you're condemning is the one that catapulted you into the spotlight, fueled by a tragedy you've been leveraging ever since. But let me get this straight. You're saying democracy gave us school shootings? So your solution is what? Dismantling democracy to save democracy?
What we have to do is prove that democracy matters by standing up to the special interests that are killing the American dream.
You mean like the special interest group you founded called March for Our Lives? The one literally designed to chip away at the Second Amendment under the guise of saving lives? You don't get to wrap yourself in the flag of democracy while setting fire to the Constitution. That's not being a patriot. That's being a parasite. But here's the kicker. We're not a fucking democracy. We're a constitutional republic.
Which I'm glad he brought that up, because even Tucker Carlson makes that remark. He makes that mistake, and he makes a lot, that we're democracy when
there are democratic elements to it, and to deny that is, I think people get lost in the minutia of it. I understand what David Hogg is saying by that, but what needs to be pointed out, well, is what you said. Democracy happened and you lost. In the very realist sense of the word, people voted and you lost. And that's what he's coping about. But really, he's just siphoning money out of these people like the greedy little shit that we said he is. Just like we said he was going to do. We laughed at the very prospect of him being vice chair of the DNC. And look what happened. I hope it hurts. I hope he fucking fleeces him for everything he's worth, because he ain't going to do a shit of good with it. You think David Hogg is going to do anything to actually further a cause with the money he's stealing from them right now?
Fuck no.
No.
It's been close to a decade since that shooting happened.
So let him line his greedy little pockets like the goblin that he is. And I'll keep calling him, oh, Roscoe, we got to steal all the money from the Democratic National Committee.
Is David Hogg the DSP of politics?
He's getting there.
Yes.
He's getting there because they haven't gotten rid of him. You can't get rid of him until they get rid of him, yes. I would have said Al Franken before, though, but Al Franken is mostly disappeared. But sorry, Sam, but Morpheus brought up who's the DSP of politics. It's one of them two.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is more like the Christian on a reckon of how old he is and how long he's been saying stupid shit.
I would have said Harry Sisson more, but
he's more like a Cyrax type figure in my mind.
Facts.
That is true.
Oh my God, that's a whole thing we should do. Compare politicians to Lulcow stream would be hilarious. Go ahead. I'm sorry, we're never gonna get through a single video.
That way.
Yeah.
To stop people like you from using emotional mob rule to bulldoze other people's rights. So no, David, the problem isn't democracy. The problem is you. Now, let's break this all the way down. You see, David Hogg went on national television and basically said democracy is to blame for school shootings, climate change, and whatever other trending hashtag he's using to fundraise that week. And then he doubles down by saying we have to defend democracy by standing up to special interests. Again, this man founded a special interest group for the sole purpose of gutting the Second Amendment. You are the special interest, David. That's like Ben and Jerry blaming childhood obesity while selling double fudge brownie sundaes. And the real irony,
which Ben and Jerry's has actually done, unironically, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Because of course they have.
Yeah.
We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. And that distinction matters. A democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. A republic, that's when the sheep is armed. And there are rules in place that say you can't just vote away someone's rights because it feels good in the moment. And David Hogg, Harvard grad that he is, either doesn't know that or he doesn't care, because what he's pushing for.
Well, that's the other thing. This kid couldn't get into Harvard with his GPA. He literally had to cry in his acceptance letter that he's a school shooting survivor, quote unquote, which I said was going to bite him in the ass years later, and lo and behold, I was right.
or isn't democracy. It's emotional tyranny.
Democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings.
Let me translate that for you. I want to change the rules because I don't like the outcome. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a kid rage quitting a video game because he keeps losing. And trust me, I've been there. But this ain't Call of Duty. You don't get to unplug the Constitution just because you can't win by the rules. And this is where I have to get real. School shootings don't happen because of democracy. They happen because of cultural decay of accountability, because of
that's not what he's doing, though. He's not unplugging the console or the controller. What he's trying to do is he's DDoSing the other guy and lag switching.
Yeah, that's true.
Hogg ain't just a sore loser. He's also a filthy cheater, if you're going to use video game comparisons. But go ahead. I'm done.
No, that is actually a more accurate description, Max. You are right.
mental health neglect. And yes, because of people who think the answer is infringing on rights instead of fixing the actual problem. People like you, David. People who want to be famous more than they want to be free. You built your entire public persona on a tragedy you didn't even take a moment to step away from. You just climbed on and never looked back. Now, even if I give you the benefit of the doubt, even if what you meant to say was that young people have lost faith in democracy because it hasn't solved gun violence, climate change, or the price of oat milk at Whole Foods, the solution still isn't to blow up the system. You don't fix a broken window by burning the house down. The founding fathers understood this. That's why they gave us a framework designed to withstand political fads, emotional manipulation, and yeah, people who think like David Hogg. And since we're on the topic of special interest groups, I figured it's time I started my own. It's called the Anti-2A Social Club. You see, I'm wearing it right here on my hat. We don't have lobbyists. We don't have a fancy office in DC. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, and hats.
Okay, so the rest of this is just a grift then?
No, I was digging the grift. You could tell by me making wacky, excited faces about how fucking shitty his grift is. Anyway, the video's fine. You know, we just always gag when somebody blatantly grifts.
Yeah, but
Except
now
Sam's books, because those are changing lives.
Yes, and along with all the other authors who we've had on this show.
Yes, all of their books are amazing. Look, if you come on, whatever you did was great. I'll say that right now.
I would like to have Coleon Noir on the show.
I would like to have David Hogg on, Sam. I would love to do my impression of him as Boss Hogg to him. Wouldn't that be funny?
That actually would be hilarious.
I'd be like, golly gee, Roscoe, there's another me here.
I haven't heard Maxine
I get the hat. I do the whole 9 yards, Sam.
Yeah.
Open invitation, David Hogg. Come on the Whitfield Report. And I'm not going to ask you any embarrassing questions about what you've done wrong. I'm just going to do my Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard impression at you, and you try not to laugh.
No.
Can defend yourself however you want, and I won't even be mean. If he came on, I wouldn't be mean at all, Sam, because I would invite anybody on, obviously.
Now, see,
I'm a gentleman, Sam.
Now, see, here's the real.
Don't I look like a gentleman?
Absolutely. Yes. No, you do. Now, see, here's the real kicker, Max, because Morthis and I, we would be the only two cripples to make an able-bodied man cry.
And boy, would I make that bitch cry.
I don't know about that, Sam. I have met some bikers in wheelchairs who would make you cry.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they could.
There's some really scary cripple men that you wouldn't want to fuck with out there, Sam.
No, I know that.
There's more than just you two. If that's what you're saying, I'm not even arguing the validity of the you two statement. Although my chances at sacrifice, Sam, is 158%, and you know it.
No, I'm not saying we're the.
And Morpheus can't beat me, so he's not even gonna try.
I'm not saying we're the only crippled men out there. I'm just saying that, like, that even us in our, mild mannered
You're proposing a
state.
handicap match then at Sacrifice.
No, I'm
I'm
proposing.
down. All right. Absolutely. He's wiry though. I gotta watch out for Morpheus.
I'm proposing that Morths and I could both make David
I
Hogg
picture it being
cry.
like a 1930s boxer kind of deal, and I think I could handle that. Morpheus, because he might do some lucha shit. I got to watch out for. But that's if we was to go 1-on-1.
I'd also have to bring in my manager too.
More, what I want to see is Morthus versus Ricky Berwick.
Why? I want to see you versus Ricky. Let's go. Challenge him. Do a promo, Sam. Pull a Max out and Berwick.
Ricky versus Sam versus Mort.
There you go. You take me out of Sacrifice, Sam, and then you subtract 155.7% off of the total, you see, and that gives you guys wide open field. So that now at Sacrifice, we got Sam Whitfield, professional author, and then way above this bit, but I'm going to take the show down to my level, Sam. We're in the toilets now, brother. Morpheus, who is I don't know if you know this, Sam, a lucha legend, as well as a cyborg that fights Nazis on the moon and slays pussy. So now that changes the odds, because it sounds like he might be not a genetic freak because he ain't got no genetics because he's a robot, right? On account of that. But not having genetics means he's perfect, you see? So I'm putting his odds of winning normally would be at 33%, right? Yours are at 33%. But he's a cyborg who slays pussy on the moon while killing Nazis. So I feel like your chances drastically go down, is what I'm saying, Sam.
And
then you add Ricky Berwick in at Sacrifice in a triple threat, Sam, and your odds go way down.
He can't even beat me, so he's not even going to try.
Ricky knows he can't beat Morpheus, so he's not even going to try.
I could actually mop the floor with Ricky Berwick.
I don't know. He's wiry as fuck, Sam. I think he's probably like if we're rating you guys in like
all you got to do with Ricky is distract fucking Reese's Pieces.
His toughness meter is probably like an 89 to a 95 at least.
All I would have to do is literally blow bubbles at him and he'd fall over.
All right, you heard it here. In the triple threat at Sacrifice, what you put your odds at then, Sam?
60-40.
60-40. If you was to go 1-on-1 with Ricky Berwick.
Mm-hmm.
But we're throwing Morpheus in the mix at Sacrifice, Sam. And so your odds still drastically go down. Because he don't have genes, so he's not a genetic freak. And also, he's not normal. So that puts it, if you was to go 1-on-1 with Morpheus, it puts it at 70-30. You see? And so 30 minus 30 equals 0. And so you got no chance against Morpheus and Ricky Berwick at Sacrifice, Sam. The math don't lie.
We'll see about that.
Now, if you are able to separate the two entities and get them fighting amongst themselves, then maybe 8.25%.
Well, of course.
Vegas don't like them odds, though, Sam.
Well,
and Johnny Fox is fat.
See, the problem here is I could probably be bribed by Sam.
That's true. And then there's a cooperation element that changes the mathematics a lot. So you still got a chance at Sacrifice, Sam. But only if you switch me out for Ricky Berwick, let's face it. I mean, let's be real. You got Ricky Berwick, you got me. I mean, there's the two different matches.
Why would I want to take you on at all?
I don't know, because that was the triple threat at Sacrifice.
Listen. I know you. You would just like start throwing. You would just start throwing me around the arena.
It's fun to throw people, Sam. What can I say? Morpheus knows that's why he's a luchador. You didn't know about his years of luchador experience. It was on his fucking resume, bro.
You know what? You know what?
You didn't even go down for the trip to Tijuana to see the fucking little bar hole in the wall he was wrestling at, huh? That's what it is. Do you know how hard it was to find that place, Sam?
I'm sure it took you and Shmuley weeks.
And then there we get in there, and we get in, and then the ring is a fucking robot, clearly in a mask, right? And he's fucking wrestling a guy in a full blown, not even kidding you, Hugo Boss, like swastika missing, but everything else. And he's just whooping this Nazi's ass, right? And then all the ladies are like, yay! And I was like, wait a minute. And then they were like, and our winner tonight, Morpheus. And I was like, that's the guy I'm here to see, Shmuley. And he's like, no way. And we were like, this is going to be a wild ride. And then, and then a montage of 80s music starts playing, at least in my memory, Sam. I've been hitting the head and I smoke a lot of weed. So like some things I say might not be completely true, but there was this 80s montage, like, and then the three of us, Shmuley, me, and the robot in the lucha mask, drove around Mexico getting into wild adventures, Sam. It was like a whole movie. So I don't understand why you don't know about his lucha history, Sam. That's kind of offensive.
Because see, my memory was a bit different. I remember I met Morpheus in like a small town, and we went vampire hunting.
Well, yeah, he does that too, but like you didn't even go to he was raising money for orphans, Sam. You missed it.
No, I mean I knew that the vampires were
doing a book signing because you're such a big shot. You couldn't even help Morpheus raise money for orphans while he beat up a Nazi in Mexico.
No. I mean that's true. I am a big shot out there, but I know,
and you're just too good to help help Morpheus beat up a Nazi in Mexico and slay all the hot groupies.
Well, I was helping Morpheus defeat vampires so that they wouldn't eat that. So that they wouldn't.
Were they sexy goth vampires, perchance?
Some of them
told me about that, and I told them you guys got to be careful with them because they have vampire AIDS.
Well, Morpheus is immune to that. I'm told.
Well, yeah, duh. He's a robot, Sam. Have you not been listening?
Well, of course.
Okay. Well, how could a robot get AIDS?
But is goth vampire AIDS worse than wrestling groupie AIDS?
Yeah. Because eventually, you attract a whole bunch of like creepy guys that follow you around trying to touch you. That's the goth curse, you know.
That is true. Again, Moore's a robot, so although
right. That's why it works for him. He just attracts hot chicks after he beats a Nazi up in a wrestling match in Mexico and gives all the money to orphans. Sam, I don't understand what you're not getting.
No, I'm saying I'm helping him slay vampires so that they won't eat the orphans.
I don't know, Morpheus. Did you slay vampires with Sam?
I did.
Okay. All right. I had to ask him, Sam. You're not always the most reliable narrator.
I'm not.
Unlike me. Look, that Tijuana match was fire. All right. You don't even know. He did a triple Hurricanrana moonsault, Sam, off the ceiling. It's wild.
I'm sure I was
in the wheelchair. In the wheelchair.
I mean, look, he's been
and that was after the alcohol.
Yeah.
Wild. And then all these like big dudes came And we were like, oh God, they're going to fuck with us because they look like the cartel guys. And they were, Sam. And you know what happened is they walked up to him and they were like, yes, good job, Chip. And here's some more money for the orphans. We love you so much. And I was like, yo, you know them? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's just the cartel. We go back. And I was like, bro, see, turns out Morpheus Sam is actually the coolest, most interesting person / robot in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Morpheus is actually the guy who hired Jason Miller to take on the cartels in Night of the Vigilante. I might be giving away spoilers. I might not, but you won't know until you read Night of the Vigilante. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and Audible.
Okay, Sam, but I don't know. I never seen a book do a 450 moonsault to the fucking crowd, but Morpheus did. That shit was nuts.
Well, you've never seen a book try.
Well, that's fair, but like that's only because none of them got the balls.
This book has balls, my friend. This book has balls.
I'd like to see its triple moonsault onto the fucking crowd then. Sam.
I'm not even sure how a physical book would do that, but
the power of lucha and belief in its friendship in itself.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised what that will accomplish, Sam, even if it is gibberish.
A lot of what you say is motivational gibberish, but I still.
What's different from that and every other person on the internet, Sam?
You're authentic about it, at least.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I sit here sometimes and wonder, why do I say stupid things on Sam's show? And I came up with an answer, Sam. And it's because you let me talk. So it's your fault. And so I went and I talked to Legal. And so Legal was there. That's Shmulina. And she said that I get to say whatever I want on the show under contract. And so then I say things and then I run out of things that I want to say. And so I just start saying things like whatever pops up, you know?
So, so Legal gave you carte blanche, but yeah, it's somehow my fault that you say all these.
Yeah, I mean, it may or may not have been Shmuley in a wig. I'm not going to lie. But I don't, when you get a pass to say whatever you want, you just kind of say, all right, thank you, Shmulina,
Well, see, the thing of it is like, part of
the way, like, unironically, big congrats. Our boy Shmuley is going to be graduating soon. This is his year, and of course he said that before, but it's getting close to that time, and I've been talking to him. Obviously, that's why he's not been around. School's busy as shit. He's working and things, but big congrats to our boy Shmuley. I've known him a long time, obviously. And,
yeah.
He's worked really hard to get there, and so good for him. Yay.
Yeah, big shout out to him. Yeah. Well,
remember when he did my eulogy when I went to the store, Sam? That was pretty funny.
I actually do remember that. I also remember the fact that he was the one who started the rumor.
Confirmed rumor.
And that's all it is. It's a rumor.
Mm-hmm. What rumor?
That Sam got up and walked.
Oh, well, yeah, we saw that. You showed us a picture of it. Sam was over here showing us a picture of him standing up and was like, this proves that. I was like, what are you doing? Well, and then he's like, well, I said it to more look like I was standing up, for the picture. And I'm like, okay, but the point of you showing us a picture of you standing up disproves that it's a picture of you standing up.
Well, no, but
You showed it on the show too. That was what made it funnier, right? You're like, look, I'm not standing up. You're the best friend I could have for this kind of shit, Sam. I love this.
Well, I mean, I can't say for sure that, it's purely a rumor that, it's a malicious rumor that, Shmuley started I'm on PCP.
Yeah, well, it's not a rumor that you're a bit of a diva. Look, I saw the request for the brown M&Ms. I still don't understand why they got to be brown, Sam. What's that about? And why 87 exactly? We sent the guy over there, and he says you hit him because there was 88. What's up, Sam?
Well, listen, Max. It's like this. I want the setup for the Whitfield report to be, perfect.
Where's the M&Ms then?
Well, listen. The writer who's
we had to pay him off. He said you hit him with a cane and you screamed, "I'm Sam Whitfield, bitch," and said that he needed to do 87, not 88 round M&Ms.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm telling you we sent the guy over with 88. Apparently, I thought it was the right thing, right? And he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, Senor Max, he hit me, and he said I'm Sam Whitfield, bitch." And I was like, "What? That's not the Sam I know." He's like, "Yes, Senor, he hit me with a cane and he told me get out and come back with I have 87. And I was like, "Why didn't you just take one of them out?" And he was like, "He wouldn't let me. He said that was wrong."
Well,
Sam, what is wrong with you?
Not him, you.
Maxine, what is right with Max?
I don't know anymore.
Nice reference to David Lee Ross Eminem story there. Though.
What reference, Sam?
No, that actually did happen. David Lee Roth, I guess, used to hit people if they didn't remove all the red M&Ms during the Van Halen tours. So
is that why you hit our Mexican delivery guy, Sam?
No,
we paid him off out of the slush fund because he was an illegal, so you don't have to do any paperwork, Sam. But you really can't be hitting the help. I'm gonna put my foot down about that one.
Well, I'll just, you know what? I'll just have to run over your foot then.
All right. I mean, look, you did the wrong one, didn't you?
No, I didn't have a book. I didn't have the right drum fill for that one. Anyway.
I know. And now, how do you feel? You play the womp womp. No, play the womp. Okay, we're right with the divine comedy now. So what else is going on? Nick Fuentes, I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if you've seen this, Sam. Is a gay Mexican man.
Oh, has this been? Has he finally admitted to it?
No, nothing happened. I just was making sure that you knew that.
Oh well,
breaking news, you know.
Well, speaking of breaking news, this
breaking news: Kanye sucked his cousin's dick.
Wow, how did you know how did you know I was going to how did you know I was actually going to bring that up?
I mean, look, he's proving his point that he can say whatever the fuck he wants. Do I think he actually sucked his cousin's dick? I don't know. But he put out a song about it. So there's that.
I like this.
By the way, is a very similar thing. Remember when Cartman had Tourette's? and he was telling on himself for sucking his cousin's dick. And now Kanye has been so broken by a gay fish joke from South Park that he's now become Cartman. I don't know. And then that's crazy because Cartman's Cupid became Ye, and then Ye became Cartman. And Chris Chan's right, Sam. The merge is real.
Holy crap.
So there's that. What else is there?
You know, Ye just wants to play. I believe you now, Max. Ye just wants to play Steam Deck.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you people that say that that's based, let me tell you about the time. You're not gonna think this is very based, are you? Check out my new song, Cousins.
The worst
play Steam Deck.
The worst part is that Morthus is the one who tagged me into that.
Well,
it had to be tagged.
No, actually,
it's yin and yang because his previous song, and I quote, was called "Hail Hitler," and it was catchy. So his next song is called "Cousins," and it's about sucking his cousin's dick when he was a kid.
And it's not catchy.
It's art.
And it's not catchy at all.
No, it's abrasive and it's supposed to make you turn it off so he can go play Steam Deck.
But the real question is what game is he playing on Steam Deck? We still need to know.
Probably that one that's popular with the goth couple about incest, if I were to take a guess.
Probably.
You guys have no idea what I mean, but there's it's a almost choose your own adventure visual novel game with these two like ultra goth looking characters, a guy and a girl, and they're brother and sister. And if you make certain choices, they'll fuck. And it's also the edgiest thing ever because they kill people and like they're just super. It's meant to be they're the edgiest goth brother and sister ever. So part of that was that they had incest in it too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I think that's kind of funny, but it blew up the Steam charts because of that. Because of course it did, because it's a very stylized cartoon goth guy and goth girl, and they fuck. It just so happens that they are, yes, canonically brother and sister, and they're very aware of this fact because they start the game that way. Like,
yeah.
Steam does draw the line sometimes because I don't know if you heard about this one, Sam. Have you anybody here heard about No Mercy? Morpheus? Anybody?
I have. I've heard of No Mercy. I haven't really like played it or anything, or even.
I should hope not, Sam, because it's a game about raping abroad, unapologetically. So Steam took it down. That's why it's called No Mercy. It's literally about like rape.
Oh, damn.
It's basically rape simulator. I mean, there's a story element. I'm being a little reductive to the people that would defend it. And hey, I defend it should have a right to exist, by the way, but I wouldn't play such trash. But art is art. It shouldn't be on Steam though. They're probably right about that.
Yeah.
It's explicit too. It's an explicit rape game, Sam. It got even taken off of itch.io, which is pretty tough because they allow sexual content to a pretty large degree, but they were like, no rape game, please.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Joe in chat said a leftist created it. I don't know for either of the last two games I mentioned the creator anything about them. I'm just saying what they're about.
The leftist one after Steam to get that No Mercy game pulled.
I actually kind of agree that Steam maybe shouldn't have a explicit game that's about.
Oh, I agree. They don't have to platform the game. I just, from my understanding, leftist went after it.
Fair enough. So, if, broken clock or something. I do think it has a right to exist. Like if he has a website, he could sell it there, and I don't have a problem with that.
Facts.
Would I ever play a rape game? No. If you're a sane man, you would say no to that. By the way,
yeah, most sane people will no.
Women might. They'd be more likely, but it's made with a mindset of a guy in mind, obviously. It's not like 50 Shades. See, 50 Shades fluffs the fucking S&M shit out with all the lovey-dovey stuff, right? That's why they like it. If you just take that out and it's just this scary, creepy guy who's like, I'm pretty sure you can murder them too. There's a murder element to it. It's a fucked up, they're saying it's like a sexual horror game. And I'm like, that's a bad combination, but okay.
Yeah, very bad combination.
Yeah, Joe Fish for Pope. I'm down for that.
I'm good with that.
I nominate Joe Fish for Pope.
Listen, I am totally down for that, man.
Well, go tell your local archbishop to make him a bishop, and then they can
I'd actually have faith in the Catholic Church if Joe Fish was Pope.
Do you know how cool Joe would look in those robes and that hat? Oh my God,
that's right.
Joe in that big ass.
And then he appoints me as the head of the Swiss Guard or whatever, so I can stand next to him in the doofy suit.
That's right. Well, I mean, Max, come on. Let's be real. You would just wear the same.
No, I'd love to wear them ridiculous over-the-top outfits, standing next to him in a Pope hat, looking like a goofball.
Oh, of course. But then, when do you have to
kill anybody that gets too close to him? Yeah, Sam. Why? You thinking of jumping the line?
No.
Take my duties as the VIP security for the Pope pretty seriously, Sam.
But wait, when you
wait in line like everybody else, and then maybe he'll wash your feet. Maybe, if you're a good boy.
When you have to leave. Oh wait, no, that's only a priest that can there.
That's right. I get a whip. You ever seen them guys? They got a whip. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
So you get too close, Sam, and it's whoosh, get back, boy. The Pope will see you when it's your turn.
Well, listen. Listen. I'm part of the administration too. If Joe Fish.
Yeah, but you still can't get too close. That's my job. Look, I'm retarded, and they gave me one task, and it's keep people away until he tells me it's okay, and he hasn't said it's okay yet. So you get the whip.
Listen, Morph isn't even dead yet, and I'm already nominating for him for sainthood.
He can't be dead, Sam. He's a robot. We've done this 7 times now. We just take his memory drive and we put it in a new model. You didn't know this is Morpheus like 8 Mark 7 or something like that?
I'm not even sure.
Sometimes we just update the software.
I'm not even sure he knows that.
Yeah. Well, no, like
what? No.
Yeah, we can't program him to know this stuff, Sam. He spaces out when it gets discussed, his programming, and he can't hear anything. That's why Shmuley puts all that code in to make him make jokes at your expense. See, that's Shmuley's ultimate game.
And get that one-liners in on Max.
Did he? That dirty bastard. That's okay. I got something no AI can create.
You are not allowed to go unchallenged there, Max.
I am unapologetically retarded. Mm-hmm. No AI is going to admit that, Sam.
That's true.
I know. I asked. I said, Grok, are you retarded? And Grok was like, no, I'm not retarded. And so I asked ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, you got to speak truth to me now. Are you retarded? And ChatGPT said, that's not a nice word to say, and I can't answer that. And I said, that's a fair question, but that's not a no or a yes. So they will not tell you if they're retarded.
I would love to know if ChatGPT thinks Grok is retarded.
And Sam, that's the thing though. We all know they're retarded. Because you ask it a question and it's like, What the fuck does that mean? Let me tell you about the weather. Let me write 47 pages about the most inane bullshit question you had that doesn't answer your question. Yeah, the
Grok isn't
AIs are
retarded, it's
retarded.
autistic.
But I'm retarded in a way that I can admit that I'm retarded and autistic, right? But ChatGPT can't even admit it's retarded because that's a banned word, which proves that it's both retarded and autistic. And Grok will tell you it's not retarded, and it might even call you a retard back. I've had that happen. But it doesn't mean it because it refuses to acknowledge what the word retard even really means because it's an AI. But me, I've made some dumb fucking decisions. Maxine,
Yes.
have I made some pretty dumb decisions?
Yeah.
Would you say it's fair for me to say I'm retarded?
Yes.
Back to you, Sam.
Wow. She's not even doing it. Oh, my husband's not retarded. She's just like, yep.
Oh no.
18 years.
Dude,
18 years. I ain't gonna deny it.
I used to walk around the mall pretending to be retarded, Sam.
Yep.
Maxine, come back. I love you. And
But
the
you're
kid-
not. You're not pretending there, Max.
well, that's what makes it so funny is only you know and I know, but they don't know what you know and I know. And in fact, they think I'm retarded, but I'm pretending to be retarded, but I'm also really retarded. That's what makes it funny.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know that I know that I'm retarded. And I know that you know that I'm retarded. And the audience for sure knows I'm retarded if they've seen me talk for more than 5 minutes. And so it takes the pressure off to just admit it, and just be retarded like I am in my natural environment, Sam. Just chilling with the Minecraft glasses, yeeting away, I ran a couple miles for the show, Sam.
Bravo.
So are you admitting that Yeet is retarded?
I'm just saying that yeet. Back to you, Sam.
I actually listened to our. Why are you pointing at the camera?
Oh, that's back to you.
Oh. Well, I was
Why did it derail your train of thought?
well yeah, because like your finger got your finger got like awfully close to the camera, and I thought you were like trying to reach through the screen.
Yeah, and point right in your face, like back to you, Sam. So let's try a take 2, okay? Back to what did I say before? I'm retarded. Back to you, Sam.
So anyway, I actually thank you, Max. I actually went and watched our first interview that you and I did together on the show about 2 years ago, 2 years ago or so now. Wow, a lot has changed. Hey,
Yeah.
well,
For you, yeah, because you're a super famous author guy now.
well, yeah, and
your book makes people's dicks bigger. So that's changed.
Well, but like
You're also make people's dicks bigger. That's true.
You're also a lot healthier than you were.
That's true too. What it is I ate a lot of junk food during the damn pandemic like an idiot, and I had to get out there and work it off like an idiot because I'm retarded. See, if you're going to be dumb, Sam, you got to be tough. That's all there is to it. Yes, that's a country song, but it's also a rule of life. Like, if you're going to be dumb, you better be able to take a few lickings, because you might walk down the wrong alley. Why? Because you're dumb. And then there's 2 guys in that alley, and they don't like that you're there. And you're like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. And you go the other way because you're dumb, and then you get in a fight because you're dumb, and then you got to be able to beat some people's asses. Otherwise, you might if you got to be dumb, you got to be tough,
Oh yeah.
And that's why Sam is tough as nails, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
Come on, that was like a 2-minute setup to insinuate you were dumb.
yeah, no, yeah,
Bad jokes I think I've ever told on this show.
yeah, no,
Not changed in those 2 years, by the way. I went back and I showed you, Sam. I was wilding out with stupid shit like the whole time. People think that's new. You know what it is? We're getting fresh eyes. If they think if you like content where somebody is just saying the dumbest shit you've ever heard, well, I got that in spades, Sam.
Subscribe to Rumble Premium.
That's true. We got a whole bunch of ideas. Mort'd even requested something regarding the iDub stuff, and I actually am for that, even though it's cooled down. In fact, because it's cooled down, because I'd mostly talk about the Sam Hyde thing, because that's what broke that little twig boy.
Yep.
And Sam Hyde is, yeah. I mean, I'm from like the same area as him, so there's going to be crossover in humor, but I don't know if it's as much even me watching his shit as it is our culture out here, And like one of the things to do if you're a guy of his age, which is also kind of my age, right, was like shit talk, prank call people in the 90s. That's kind of where I got my start in like improv and saying bullshit, right? Is just prank call people. And fun fact, Sam, me and a certain person who may or may not be the CEO of the company used to just drop into people's Google Hangouts and basically do hangout prank calls because people would leave open links. There are videos of years of us doing that, just like gaslighting people about all kinds of shit, just for our own entertainment, making them hate each other, even though they've been friends for years and we just showed up. We had races to see who could get thrown out the fastest, things like that.
Okay, so Maxine is right. You are retarded then.
Well, that was like sometimes, I don't know. A lot of the guys that we used to roll with, except for me, were like college guys. I'm just like a dad. So I had Saturday nights. I wasn't out partying, and the college guys that I knew they were all studying. So Saturday night they were at home.
Instead of the group mom, you've always been the group dad.
Oh God, don't say that. People like internet dads. They'll start looking at me like that, and then it'll be creepy. Look at what happened with the Tates. If you say two masculine things, these guys are like, oh my God, you'll be my internet dad. No, fuck you. You don't get that. Go find a real dad.
But my real dad left for cigarettes 10 years ago and never came back.
Yeah, well, that was the smartest decision your real dad ever made. Because you're such a pussy that you need an internet dad. I didn't have a dad. Faggots. Grow up.
And you turned out just fine.
No, I'm an asshole, Sam. That's why you got to go find some other internet dad. And I'm sure they won't steer you wrong, and I'm sure they won't be like a Jack Murphy.
But what if I want an asshole internet dad?
I mean, well, Jack Murphy will put you in his asshole, I hear. Gay pornography, Sam. We got there.
I don't want to be a victim of Vince McMahon.
Oh, nobody does. Nobody does. But hey, when the shit sprays, my friend. You just got to try and get out the way. Try not to get any of the stank on you. Because you know that motherfucker ate weird shit, right? He ate like nothing but like steaks and shit. So Vince probably shit like disgusting. Right on that woman's face. Since my wife isn't here, I get one. That was a freebie. Nobody tell her. Oh God, Vince, stop! Oh no! He's like, I got another one coming, lady. Oh God, please! What's her name? Janelle? Oh God, yeah! Shut up, Janelle. Where's those 3 big black cocks?
People.
See what happens when she leaves me alone, Sam?
All I could say is people from people from Connecticut, people from Connecticut are weird, and people from Connecticut are really weird,
I
to say
agree.
the least. And
This isn't one of those individuals. Every single one of them, Sam. If you're from Connecticut, look, I'm sorry, homie, but you're weird.
yes,
Fact. Go ahead.
yes. Also, how are there 6 people still watching this?
Because they are fans of I don't know what. I just imitated Vince shitting on a woman for about a full minute. And I'm going to show that clip to my wife, but later on, and she's going to be horrified. And I'll probably clip it for the fucking, I mean, I don't know. How good of an impression was it, Sam? Rate my Vince shitting on Janelle Grant impression, Sam.
Well, from
As you can tell, she's still not back.
Well, from what I've heard, Janelle actually kind of, and this is gross to say, but I've heard that she
was into it.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, my impression was wrong then. So it was more like, oh yes, oh, give me all the shit, Daddy Vince. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That was an editor's correction because Sam told me I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid, yes, that is the.
We report hard news here.
Occasionally, we report shitty news too.
About as hard as the. See, here's the cool thing, is now that the Pope died, he doesn't get to tell anybody about that time that Biden pooped in front of him, Sam.
Oh yeah, so that's the other thing too.
How do you think the Pope got to the pearly gates? He told God about Biden shitting in front of him.
It started the chain reaction of his health failing as he smelled Biden's fart and it just fucking sent him. See, they're blaming the vice president, Sam, but I blame a different Vice President Biden, for shitting in front of him, Sam. The stench of it made him ill, from which he did not recover. Which is fair, because Biden is old as fucking dog shit and dirt, so he probably does have pretty foul-smelling farts, Sam. You know old people farts, Sam? You ever been around real good old people farts where you want to fucking die rather than breathe it in a little bit?
Yes, unfortunately I have.
And it sounds like it's made of sawdust when they do it too, like it's dry, but it smells like it should be wet and in a sewer somewhere. And they just sit there, and usually they have that, yeah, I farted and I'm old, so I don't care anymore. And you're like, respect, but fuck you, old person. You farted and it's nasty. And they're like, yeah, I don't care. And you're like, I respect that. One day I'm going to be that old person, Sam. And man, that fartomania is going to be the greatest of all time, brother. Bring the big boom. She's not back yet. She's still out. And you can tell she's not even watching because she would have run in to hit me at this point. And that's why I put on my Yeet glasses, Sam, because
you don't know that she's not stocking up on ammunition, though.
That'll be fine. If I end up on a joke about a giant fart, there's worse ways a comedian can go out, Sam.
That is true.
Just a fucking fart joke, you know. If that's your last joke, at least it's timeless, Sam, because farts were funny to cavemen, and farts are funny now.
Farts will always be funny.
That's right. And if you don't think farts are funny, your farts probably smell funny, and that's why, because you get embarrassed. And that's okay, because mine do too. But after a while, you start to become the old person, and you start
Mine smell like roses.
and you're just like, you know what? I just cleared the aisle here at this here grocery store, and now I get to shop in peace. And suddenly, the farting pants are on you now, not the old man. That's right, boomers. We're taking your fart passes away. You don't get that no more. Millennial farts will be of the day. And I know, y'all say, oh, what about Dr. Craig and what about Batman? And look, that's a tough battle. That's coming up this summer. But after that, the sky's the moon, Sam. The old people are going down. And the rise of the young stench will come to the fruition at Fartomania. You have professional authors come on your show, and then I do that. Why do you let me?
Because it's funny.
Yeah, it's because it's funny, and because
You don't even try to stop me anymore. At least you don't encourage me, except when my wife is here, you do, because you know I'm going to get consequences. I'm telling you, a great bit is going to be whenever, I'll tell you this, don't even prepare me for it. These people now watching right now, they get the inside track. But everybody else, one day, when we have reached a peak viewer count, maybe even higher than we've had before, like a really good one, Sam. When you see the view count and you're like, wow, that's high, fire me immediately on air. Kick me out of the call and throw an absolute fit about having had enough of my bullshit. Now, these people will get it, but they're smart, so they're not going to spoil it, Sam. Those people will fall for it, and it'll be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll start like a fucking feud with you, and we'll go back and forth, and then you'll rehire me with certain conditions of shit I'm not allowed to say, and I'll begrudge you for it and read them on air and read a fake apology, and we'll do a whole thing.
It sounds good.
And it's great because you could say it right on air now with the people that normally watch, which I know is not a small number of people once it goes out on Spotify and everything, right? But they're the smart people. So they ain't gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they're never gonna reveal the work.
And then the big work is that you've worked me into a shoot, and you're like, haha, now you're actually fired, Max. I'm like, damn it, he got me.
But
I worked myself into a shoot, brother. Hulk Hogan told me about this.
But no, the real shoot is when Shmuley fires us. Like,
well, that's the thing, is he's going to fire you, and he's going to replace you as host of the Whitfield Report, because we own that, with me. I mean, I'm the most experienced person to host it besides you, because I've hosted multiple Whitfield Reports, actually.
Yes,
that's what you get for being my Johnny Carson, motherfucker.
Yes, that is true. But then
classic episodes full of shenanigans too.
But then for no reason he'll also fire you too, because in Shmuley's mind it's funny.
Well, now that you said it's funny, Sam, but you're picking your nose, that's pretty funny. Why would you do that right on stream?
Female cop.
He's like the old man farting. He's like, I don't care. I'm on stream way too many hours of my life to give a fuck what anyone thinks.
Yeah, I am kind of at that level.
Well, also, I'm the only one that really clips us, and I wouldn't clip that, right? But if somebody else clips it, then we're doing good, actually, so let them.
People did try and clip that once.
Well,
actually,
I'm just saying I don't clip stuff like that. Even if I pointed it out like that, I wouldn't clip it. That would be up to somebody else to do, and they don't do it.
No,
So you
no.
get a pass on that one, except for me calling you out, and all the people that hear the podcast in full are going to be like, shut up, Max.
No. The funny thing is one day I'm just gonna start like rubbing my nose like
We should
this.
do it. You should do it. So like you, what's one of them blood squigs in the nose? So that, like a little ball with some like fake blood in it, and you put it in your nose so that you one day you're just doing that on air and you go and the blood comes out and you're like, oh no. Sorry, these are the ideas that pop into my mind. See, motherfuckers make this content and it's such slop these days. You see it, right? It'll recommend you like an AI voiced channel with a list on it, and you're like, what the fuck? This is content? I'm talking about Sam faking this gigantic nosebleed out of nowhere, screaming like he's actually dying. And even I don't know that's what he's doing, even though I gave him the idea just now. I'm stupid and I'll forget, so it would be funny anyway.
The funny thing is if the air were dry here, like in Colorado, I could actually do that with like, it would be completely real.
Well, the funny thing is going to be, I'll teach you how to do the pencil in the eye trick, and that'll really get him.
I'm sure that would.
I haven't done the pencil in the eye trick, have I? Oh, I'm not prepared to do that right now. That one hurts. Remind me in the future, Sam, to do the pencil in the eye trick on the air.
I'll put that on my list to
More in case Sam forgets, remind me to do the pencil in the eye. It's chat, everybody. Remind me to do the pencil in the eye trick.
Yeah.
You guys will love that.
I'm sure your wife.
Sam was already rubbing his eyes just at the thought of me doing some kind of trick involving that, right? Yeah.
I'm sure your wife will totally not kill you.
I don't know if she's seen me do it either. It might get her. I might get you just because you're too visual about the eyes, huh? Kids don't do fun tricks anymore, Sam. We used to light our arms on fire.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Like we'd take the cheap perfume or cologne from the dollar store and spray your arm with it and just light your arm on fire for about 30 seconds until it starts to get warm. And then it turns out doing that stupid though, because I'm retarded. And so you burn off all the hair on your arm for a while and sometimes you burn yourself. I got some over there, scars and shit. But when you're drunk, that's kind of hilarious, you know?
There's a lot of stuff that's hilarious when you're drunk.
Amen. That's why. Hey, I've done the 40 on the show twice now this year, but that's still like I don't drink much at all anymore. But back in my day, hey, I got all kind of party tricks that would work on a stream. Now I think about it. Pencil in the eye, broken arm. Dude, I have so many. And never mind. Now I'm gonna give it all away. Never mind.
Driving a wheelchair while intoxicated is actually pretty.
I know, right?
Pretty interesting.
I used to take my father-in-law's wheelchair when I was shit-faced down the street to go get more beer. That's a true story, and I'm glad that she's not here because she didn't know that, but he totally let me do it. He's like, just don't let anybody know. And I was already shit-faced. But they didn't get me in any trouble because it turns out when you're in one of those wheelchairs, they just let you be shit-faced. Did you know this, Sam? Of course you knew that because you've been drunk in a wheelchair before.
Not here in New York.
Well, yeah, but you guys hate fun, to be fair.
Yeah, Morpheus.
Yeah, hold on. He doesn't hate fun, Sam. He loves fun. Why are you always picking on Morpheus? I asked you this. Is there something going on at home?
I fucking love fun, Sam.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
No, he is. he is a fun guy. He
That's right.
needs he hangs out in the dark a lot though, which is why he is a fun guy.
I'm a fucking goddamn vampire, asshole.
Yeah, you didn't know he's a vampire robot luchador? Come
No,
on, Sam. We were literally just talking about the vampire AIDS and how he's immune.
no, I was saying you were saying
He
he's
doesn't
a
even
fun.
pay attention on his own show.
No, you were saying he was you were saying
Now
he
you've
was
offended him.
you were
Why do
saying
you do this? You know how hard it is to calm him down after you bully him, Sam?
you were saying he's a fun guy.
I just bully you, Max.
I know.
You know that you were saying that he's a fun guy, and I was saying he's a fun guy. He hangs out in the dark all the time.
Yeah. Slaying pussy.
I just called more a mushroom essentially. Since
You dad joked it up on me, huh? And I missed it.
yeah,
I'm not nerdy enough for that one, I think. Also, I'm allergic to fungi, so that would be a bad thing.
Oh yeah. Well, of course I had to make a dad joke about the one thing that you can't have, which are fungi.
Which I don't think much about them because I'm allergic to like mushrooms and stuff.
So you have no fun around fungi.
That's right. They are not fun at all.
Then.
They actually make me like die.
Yeah, so no die guys for Max then. And
see, man, see, you mentioned them and it killed my stream. That's how allergic to fungi I am, sir.
that was perfect timing, actually.
I am a fun guy, but I don't like those fungi. When you offer me some fungi, Sam, I'm about to get Fugazi on you. I don't take that shiitake laying down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't take shiitake from nobody.
That's right, because that would make me very ill.
I like to shiitake everybody.
My wife's still not come back. Now I'm gonna message her and tell her that I did an explicit impression of Vince McMahon shitting on that woman and then corrected it from the other perspective. Maybe then she'll come back.
You should also tell her that I'm making horrible puns about like horrible dad jokes about like mushrooms.
Just horrible dad jokes would probably be enough, huh? I'm doing fartomania rants and Sam's talking about mushrooms. You probably should come help us out here. Oh, when I talked about Vince McMahon shitting on that woman again and again and again. Not me talking about it. He shit on her again and again and again and again. You know he was intense because you've seen Vince McMahon before, so you could probably picture the face he was making. It's the same one he made at WrestleMania 17, you know? Never mind. What else you got for us tonight, Sam, on this hard news show?
You know, I didn't have anything. We actually went through all our stories.
Oh my God, we're out of prep like it's a fucking bug chaser party.
Yeah, that'll. I shouldn't laugh, but that was a good one. More any. Oh wait, yeah, bits and
bonus this week at 10 p.m. EST on Sunday. If that changes, it'll be up on my Twitter.
Are you going to be talking about Oblivion Remastered and
We're talking about Oblivion, and there's a couple other topics that I want to address this week.
Yeah, I played a little of it. I'm not as unimpressed as other people seem to be, but I have a low bar. I'm having fun. That's my bar.
Does it have a bunch of the old school Oblivion jank left?
Yay, I like that.
As long as it's got some of the jank, I'm good with it.
I would prefer not to have any jank if possible, but I get you. Other people have a different preference because it's nostalgic for them, but I'm having fun with it as it is. It looks incredible.
Right. In this particular case, when I say Oblivion jank, I mean like the fucked up voice lines and shit.
Well, the voice lines are all the same. Yeah, they didn't change them at all.
Good.
Yeah, it's not like AI and the voice actors are on strike, so they use the original voice lines for everything.
That's awesome.
So I guess that jank, yes, is there. The same guy voices like 50 characters? Yep, for sure. Already ran across a bunch of people with the same voice. What's his face is still the Emperor. Yep, that intro is as epic as it was the first time I played it. Yeah, I'm enjoying Oblivion. I made a Khajiit because I kind of always do, because I end up playing like a jumpy, usually archer stealth, because that's overpowered in those games. This time I'm choosing to do magic stealth because that would be different for me, but and see if it works. But yeah, I've been having fun with it. Played just like 4 hours maybe. I did like 2 dungeons and I enjoyed myself. Yeah. That's my book report on Oblivion Remastered, Sam.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, you guys didn't watch WrestleMania though.
That is
podcast on Who's the Mark podcast now.
that is true.
The people who listen to it wouldn't be marks because they wouldn't have tolerated a lot of what I said. By the way, I think we had a lot of fun with it. So go check out our review, top to bottom, of WrestleMania 41. Me and Maxine.
I definitely am going to check that out.
Yeah, we did star ratings for every match as we went through them. At one point I figured that out because she doesn't even know who Dave Meltzer is, guys. So our star ratings aren't going to reflect his bullshit at all. It's going to be how we rate a match. I told her rate it like you would a TV show or movie. Out of 5 stars. And she did. And I did too. And yeah, we gave the whole show a 4-star rating.
You know,
I gave a couple of matches 5 stars.
So you would more like Oblivion then.
Well, I don't know. Mort didn't. Did you even play it? I don't think he said he played it.
I haven't played the remastered yet. I've just heard good things, and I intend on playing it.
Yeah, it was Game Pass, so I installed it right away because I figure if it sucks, I can just uninstall it. I'm gonna try and beat it before Doom comes out, Doom Dark Ages, because I want to get back to play Call of Duty Season 3 for Black Ops 6. But I have been enjoying it, and it's Oblivion, so it'll take a while. It has all the DLC, as I understand it,
including the horse armor.
Yep. So it's pretty much, yeah, I give it a thumbs up, worth your time, especially if you have Game Pass. If you don't have Game Pass, I'm pretty sure it's like $50. I wouldn't buy it at that price myself, but your mileage may vary.
Yeah, I'm seeing it for $50.
Correct. It is 50 on all platforms.
So if you liked Oblivion and you have Game Pass, it's a slam dunk. Immediately just download it, give it a shot. The worst that happens is you play the intro and you say, eh. But if you don't have Game Pass, yeah, $50 is steep. I'd wait for a sale. Unless it's your game, because for some people, Oblivion is like their game. For me, when it comes to Elder Scrolls, it's Morrowind. That was my shit. So they haven't really done that one justice like this yet, and I don't expect they will, because it's really different from the rest of the games.
Oh, I'm sure.
Sam, have you ever swung a stick at a rat for 5 minutes and only hit it once? That's Morrowind in a nutshell sometimes.
So Morrowind is like having cerebral palsy then.
Yes.
That's a fair analogy, only when said by you, but true. Because, yeah, it's a dice roll thing, whether you hit or not, and since you suck with the weapon, you miss every fucking time. Oblivion did away with that so that if you hit, you will do damage, even if it's just a little bit. But Morrowind, it was like, even if you're hitting the thing, You still missed. Try again when your shit's better, bitch. But how do you get better? By hitting the thing. So you have to sit there swatting at a rat for 5 minutes with chugging healing potions to get your stat level up if you don't have it in a weapon. And that's not the most fun game in the world for people. So they would have to change that if they updated it. That's what I'm saying. But Oblivion, I feel like they did it perfectly. It feels a lot like the Skyrim system, but it still got everything from Oblivion, and including the leveling and the stats and acrobatics being a stat, which is big for me because that's my favorite. Where the more you jump, the higher you can jump, and the less fall damage you take from higher heights. I always like to max out acrobatics because you level it up while you're walking around because you always jump. And when you start getting higher, you can do like Hulk jumps where you jump way far, you know? I love that shit about those older games that they took out of Skyrim. So, yeah, I'll probably beat the game for sure. I don't beat every game that comes out that I play or even recommend, but I'll probably beat the Oblivion remaster because I really liked Oblivion. And since they're doing that, I'd like to see them do Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and probably Morrowind, but like I say, that's a tall order. Back to you, Sam.
Well, I just think, I mean, I just know that from what I've heard, like it's a pretty good game. But I also know that there are people who will shit on it because they enjoy shitting on Bethesda.
Well, Vince McMahon,
Bethesda is a thing, but the games are still worth playing.
Look, after Starfield, this is refreshing for me because Starfield left a really sour taste in my mouth, specifically because it had a lot of the charm that I like about a Bethesda game, but the loading screens, man. Loading screen every 15 fucking feet in that game made me get completely out of it. Obviously, there's loading screens in Oblivion, but it's that same open world map from Oblivion that doesn't if you go in a building, if you go in a cave, there's a load screen, but for the most part, you can kind of chill, and they're not frequently every fucking 15 seconds loading screen. It's like an old Bethesda game, and frankly, one of the better ones. The story's great. You know, the Oblivion gates opening and you're fighting, basically turning back the demons. That's cool. Sam, I played for 4 hours, and the first time I rested when I leveled up, I had already basically been invited to join the Dark Brotherhood because I killed some guy. That was funny. There was a guy, and he was hiding in the corner of a dungeon full of skeletons, and I'm sneaking around, right? And he sees me, and he's like, "What the?" And so I stabbed him in the face. It turned out that, like, he hadn't attacked me, so it counted as murder. And so the Dark Brotherhood was like, "Yes, you're a ruthless murderer. You should join us." And I was like, "You know what? Fair. I was going to do that anyway, so they're probably right."
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Kind of like your evil streak on Star Wars then.
I don't know. I mean, that's different. I just wanted to play as the evilest of the evil Sith Lords ever because it was very funny. I genocided like 6 planets, but that doesn't make me a bad person. They got in my way, Sam.
I'm sure that was Darth Vader's logic too.
They got in my way. I needed to get all the power. At one point, I was emperor, and then those little bitches rebelled against me, and I murdered all them too. Anyway, what else are we doing?
Well, we're probably gonna wrap up the show here in a bit, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna see if my wife is gonna come back for at least a minute. Maybe she has something else. She's been gone so long, I'm getting nervous that she's gonna come back with like a plan of action to finally silence me forever. Sam?
You know, I can't say you haven't had it coming though.
Me either. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm just going to be a little sad. because I'll have to tell one final joke, Sam, and then probably drop at least one like hate word, like faggot or something.
And yes, and but you can at least rest easy saying, knowing that you said it with a straight face, unlike some
Don't
people.
you're actually gonna invoke my wife, Sam.
Melanie
Unlike
Mac.
unlike Melanie Mac.
Don't say it 3 times. I'm telling you.
Melanie Mac. Melanie Mac. Melanie Mac.
Oh my God! Now she's gonna come storming in. No, I don't know. I guess she must have gone to bed or something. That's unfortunate. We may or may not do another secret late night stream, guys. I have a couple ideas. So what do you got, Sam?
I've got
Who you got coming on next week for your author show? You don't plug that enough on here.
that's because sometimes I'm not always sure who I'm having on until
True. Well, plug the last one then.
yeah, I've had a couple of really good ones back to back as of
Yes,
late.
by my count, it's beyond how many fingers I have.
Yeah, the last one I had was great, and the one from a few weeks ago with Henry Brown was also fantastic. The one I had with Frank, that's like gotten close to like 100 views just on Spotify alone.
Yeah,
And check out the so I'm also putting together a playlist of all the author interviews on Rumble, actually. So soon you'll be able to watch those back to back.
No, you should. Those are great, and I'm not sure if I have a sneaking suspicion, Sam, that the crossover audience between the two shows that you do isn't as high as it should be. And so we should put them in front, at least we should put the author shows in front of this audience for sure. Because if you're listening now and you listen to all this bullshit, you should listen to Sam talk to some of these guys because they're great conversations. That's all.
One thing I do want to say regarding that is Rumble, I love you, but you've got to fix the premiere feature in Rumble Studio, because
Fair.
It's cutting off the interviews halfway through on Rumble, so it's not that big of a deal. But like I know last week, I was having a conversation with Richard Maverick, or no, this week, and people had to go. Part of the reason why I got so many plays on Spotify was because people got cut off on Rumble because it only played the first 30 minutes. So, and I was at the DMV, so I couldn't
doing interesting things as usual.
Oh yes, lovely stuff like state ID renewal and whatnot. Yeah.
Nothing but exciting stuff at the DMV.
The most riveting.
And you get a message of like, hey, bro, your shit's cut off. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Which I mean, look, we love you, Rumble, but I mean, we do pay. All of us here, I'm pretty sure, are paying for premium now. So it would be nice if, like, some of the features did work consistently.
True. Well,
Facts.
And I do want to thank everybody that hangs with us, listening to us rant, rave, and bullshit here, and listening to Sam interview these fascinating authors. The Sandwich Makers is evolving a bit. It's more of basically now it is Maxine's Mortuary is the Saturday nights, which is a Sandwich Makers production, of course. What she's doing this week, I don't know. That's why I was trying to get her down here. So she probably even has an answer because she usually does. But it's a mystery. Woo. We got other stuff planned, but I try to do that a little more periodically, Sam. But certainly a Cringe Coffee House sort of stream going over the iDubbbz. Maybe not watching his content cop video because everybody's seen it and it's kind of lame, but like responding to it. And
Ethan Klein's response is at least interesting.
yeah, and more go over like the why Sam Hyde made him crazy, because a lot of people don't seem to know that story too well. So I was thinking I might watch the Sam Hyde iDubbbz crossover documentary so we could.
People don't like giving Sam Hyde credit.
Well, that's unfortunate, and because he's one of the funniest guys in the world, and he wouldn't even like me saying it like that. But yeah, if you don't see what he was doing there, Ian, then you're just dumb. You're more retarded than me. And he didn't see it, and that's why he's felt stupid ever since. And he's trying.
Ian is fucking stupid and retarded.
And that's saying a lot.
So yeah, we might watch that and react. We're definitely going to do a sort of Juggalo stream and react to some classic Juggalo related content and talk about that. I got a couple things planned, but I can't tell you necessarily exactly when. So keep an eye out for that, Sam. And buy Sam's book. We're going to say it again.
Buy Sam's book.
Buy all of them. Buy Night of the Vigilante. Buy Shadows of Deception.
Buy the whole fucking collection.
Buy
and support independent art.
Yeah, and don't just buy mine. Buy Richard Maverick's. Buy Henry Brown.
Buy Andrew Nelson's.
Buy Andrew Nelson's.
Eric Bishop.
Or if nothing else, thank you for joining us, and join us in the future. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Rumble Premium. My wife and I, she comes on camera for those streams, and we talk about all kinds of. I made her watch what was it, Mr. Sleepy People Who Touch His Eyes.
Mm-hmm. That one creeped me out so much that I actually had to leave, which is.
It creeped my wife out quite a bit, and she was on camera for it.
Get up and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try and do at least something that's content, boys. At least it's interesting. I see so much slop content, you know. People just shoveling out the same old shit like, I'm going to watch shows from television and say 5 words about it.
You know what? Max, I will say that like I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple people, so I might have a guess. But as you were saying to me a few weeks ago, you and I need to do a show where we kind of review our old stuff from.
Yeah. We could talk, like, both of us have origins that we don't talk about with each other so much, right? Because we've been both doing this so long.
Yeah.
We're both old heads at some form of broadcasting, and that's what I think we would talk about now.
Yeah.
Not exactly a writer.
No, but well,
this is usually my medium, although it's more like a microphone. Like, give me a microphone and I can make something funny or interesting.
Right. Well, right. But yeah,
everybody else's hand. This is a microphone. In mine, it's a don't no because the feds don't like when you say that word.
Pen.
Pipe bomb.
Oh.
CM Punk.
Oh, of course. Well,
it's actually Papoose. The rapper Papoose used that line as a hook for a song, so that's more what I was quoting, but whatever. Yeah.
But
it's more likely a rap song than a fucking wrestler with me.
Gotcha.
You trying to go to sleep, Sam? Wrap this motherfucker up with a tight little bow?
I am. But anyway, folks, we will thank you for tuning in and sticking with us through tonight's program. All of the links are down below in the description, as well as on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And by the way, thank you for sharing the show links to there as well and giving us a 5-star rating and review. That helps out a lot, especially as we said at the beginning of the show, we like to share things word of mouth here, and so you guys spreading the word.
So tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your friend's mom, especially tell your friend's mom. Where was I going, Sam? Wrap her up.
Tell your friend's mom to subscribe to Rumble Premium too.
Oh, yeah. Tell your friend's mom all about that premium content, Sam.
Oh, yeah.
That's some quality premium content.
There's lots of premium quality content. But anyway, we'll catch you on the next episode, folks. And until then, take care. And God bless.
Peace. The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.